Right.
And that way, if it all goes south, I can claim that I am half retarded and I had nothing to do with any of this.
You're not going to do that.
Did you say you actually said you were going to claim to be that?
It's pretty believable, so I think I can pull it off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just thought you were. I just, I didn't know we were going to claim that, but okay.
You definitely want to antagonize the people who you're counting on to keep you alive.
Jokes among friends.
All right.
Does not want to be your friend based on how he has seen you treat your friends.
It's fine until the Imperials pinch you. So, we already sold these Nexu? Is that the deal? These were pelts? Yeah,
those were pelts. No, those were, like cyborg bits. They've been turned into spare parts.
Excellent. Brown one that's on the crate. Marked hurt/dead. What happened to this one?
Oh, I think it's dead now. That one was a pelt. Oh no, I sniped him. He's a pelt. And a snack.
Nexu. Box go. The little cargo boxes go. It's weird. Alright, well. Okay, so you guys find yourself milling around the market area, having taken care of your bare necessities. What's the plan? Is there a plan? What's the conversations going on right now? We're also trying to buy a little time for Ghost to get
in. So you really want to save your buddies there?
Absolutely, that's what we need to do.
And you got no leads you can run down as a smuggler? You got no back alley deals you've made? So we could reach out to Sis Dalrum. She was our first bounty giver here, and she also may or may not have smuggled a bunch of Wookiees off world. So she's not a friend of the. Are we in a safe place to talk? Yeah, I think we're right over here. She's not a friend of the Imperials, so she might know some things. We also can talk to Jebro. He's our information guy. There's a lot of people we can reach out to. Where you want to go, Mr. Argon?
I'm sorry, I had a little interference there.
He wants to know where you want to go and what do you want to do.
Well, I think we need to run down. They said that we need to see if we can find out some information as far as where they're being held. See if we get someone that has some information on that and pull those leads, right?
You got some money? You got some you're just gonna flash his guns and hope they flash his guns on that charming smile? Do you want to talk to our skip tracer guy? You gotta have a legal bounty though. Actually, you don't want to talk to that skip tracer guy. Let me put in a phone call to Sis Dalrum.
Okay. So, last time you encountered Sis, they very blatantly said, hey, we're making a run off planet to smuggle these things. She
was leaving?
Yeah, she's coming back, but like she was part of the operation to do all that. So what I'll do is I'll roll something. And if you want to roll your percentage dice, and do you want the higher or the lower stat?
I went high.
Okay, go ahead and roll. You need to do more than 76. Okay, she's still off world, so your call goes through to the space equivalent of voicemail several times, and then it basically the message says, "I'll be back in a week."
Yep, well, we tried.
Yep. That's our best lead.
Nothing else we can do. I guess
let's-
your friends are stuck.
Oh man, you know who we might pull some information from? Is those Jawas.
What?
We have to hire them to do some things because we're contractually obligated. But you bit that guy's hand off, and they're a lot smarter than any of the other Jawas we've seen.
Allegedly bit his hand off.
I pull up my data pad and show you biting his hand off again.
You're a master at videography. No, there's no way to know if that's actually happened or if you like made that video happen.
I show you the video of him inside of a Canuck. And you cutting him open and then actively talking about, hey, here's your hand back.
I master videographer. Like this is, I mean, clearly you're a master at your trade.
I am a bartender. You want me to fill that back up for you?
Clearly you're not a master at the trade you want to be.
What I miss?
But Kid's trying to say I bit a Jawa's hand off, and that's why we have to use the Jawas.
Yep. We're also trying to save some smugglers, or save a smuggler's friends from the Imperials.
I seem to remember there were some guys. Weren't there some guys? I don't remember their names, but they were here actually. That they could help us out to give us a direction as far as where they were. Because I remember they were at that one bunker where it was like a, what was it, like a shed or something like that?
Oh, you want to reach out to Duke?
No, was Duke the guy?
Yeah, Duke lived way out in the forest, and he gave us a Wookiee and kryptonite.
In kryptonite?
Wait, that's not the right stuff. Carbonite.
Kryptonite? Wait, when did we get a Wookiee and carbonite?
Oh yeah, you was with the ship. We yeah. You don't remember setting you had too much moonshine that time, but
I'm reasonably sure, based on the last 15 minutes of conversation, that you do not have a clear grasp of reality.
Oh come on. No, I got things.
I'm sure you're going to show me video evidence of a Wookiee and carbonite that we had.
No, I definitely don't have that.
Didn't get it on video, but that was what was in the box that we got from Duke. And we transferred it, past the Imperial blockades that was out there. And got it safely to be rescued.
Yeah, no, I totally believe everything you guys are saying.
Yeah, I think Duke's in a position where he'd be able to support us out a little bit and give us some additional information.
I think what you're looking for, though, you're trying to break your buddies out of prison, right?
Correct.
I don't think it was Duke that you were looking for. There were some people with certain set of skills that we could have hired to determine whether your buddies were actually there, I think.
So you would remember when you were doing the whole... Now that you know it was smuggling a Wookiee, there was one individual who was pretty pleased that you were helping out, who you see in the bar all the time with a... We'll say underworld group, and that is this Koth Pak guy.
That's the guy.
He's a regular, and you don't know what he does to earn his credits, but he always seems to have a lot of them. And he blatantly runs with a crew, and the smuggler inside of you, Argon, says pirate.
One of his crewmates can also get credits out of an account for you. We used Kyle last time to do that. So they're pretty competent guys.
Kyle or Carl?
I think it's Kyle.
Yeah, it's definitely Kyle.
Did you say Kyle or Carl?
It might be the transliterator droid that's messing it up, but I said Kyle.
Yeah, no, I still. Is that Kyle or Carl?
Right, it's Kyle. So if you want to go over there and talk to him,
I don't know what his name is.
you gotta introduce yourself. Just don't say you're Trandoshan.
But I am Trandoshan.
Nah, mate, we've been over this a couple times.
You
Said
keep saying this ridiculous stuff, but like I look at my ID, it says Trandoshan. Like I don't know where you're getting this weird information.
right. We live in a time where you can go to the DMV and go ahead and get whatever you want on your driver's license.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you identify as a Trandoshan, and that's fine. You can use the Trandoshan bathroom. That's cool. You know, I'm supportive. I'm a good mate, but yeah, deep down inside, you got to look at yourself and realize you're not Trandoshan. You weren't born that way, mate.
Definitely Trandoshan. I don't know how I was born. Probably an egg.
You got fur, mate.
So is this the guy over here then that we're talking about?
That's Kyle. He's a pretty good guy, but we're actually talking about Koth Poke. He's the pirate. He might be able to help you out with some information.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to talk to Kyle. He's a skip tracing bounty hunter and will turn you in.
Oh, right, yeah.
Well, now we just got to get them separated, right?
You do it by saying, "Hey, buddy, come over here. We got drinks."
Make sure you wave at him and make sure he gets a clear view of your face.
Throw up some gang signs, you know.
No, I've talked to him before. You want me to go ahead and get him over here so you can chat with him?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get him going here.
Right, so I'm gonna go talk to Koth.
Koth already has a beverage in hand, and I get horrible feedback from somebody. Who's that? Hello.
Is that not me?
Not you. Not happening now. We'll try it again. Koth has a beverage in hand, and he says, hey, Crikey, how you doing? It's so good to see you.
Hey, mate, it's good to see you too. I've got a bit of a opportunity for you. If you'd like to come over to the table, I'd like to discuss it maybe in private.
Awesome. Opportunity. Did something fall off a truck?
Yeah, something like that. Two of my mates got pinched, and we thought you might have the inside scoop.
He looks over at Jeb, the information broker across the table, and he's like, I think I know what you're talking about. It's you, Ghost, by the way. I think I know what you're talking about. I can come over and help you out. I'll be right back, guys. And he kind of nods to his table and steps away from the table with you.
Ah, excellent. So right over here, Koth. This is my buddy Argon. He's here in the hat. And then, oh shit, where'd everybody else go? Oh, Hookers. He's around here. You met him before.
Hookers comes back to the table with 2 big old bottles of rum.
Hell yeah. Ah, man. So, you looking for information, or are you looking for strategic assistance, or what are you looking for? I know that your 2 crewmates, he nods to Argon, got picked up during the landing of your vessel when it was impounded. Quite a few people actually know about that.
Those are the 2 guys we're looking for, actually. Rogan and Yar. We're trying to find out what their location is, find out where they are, where they're located at, and of course looking for ways to, of course, get them out of said location.
He picks up one of the containers that Hookers brings back and sits down on this couch and props his feet up on the table, super comfortable with the whole scenario. And he says, yeah, so just out of curiosity, I mean, I get you want your friends back, and I support this, especially when we're talking about sticking it to the Empire in the process. But how did you imagine this going down? Like, you guys know your crew and your capabilities. I don't know how versatile, and I don't know how dedicated you are, because I vaguely remember when you had that first conversation, some of you had a little bit of cold feet about picking a fight with the Empire.
Right, things have changed a little bit there.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't changed.
Don't puss
Well,
out.
he clearly knows. He clearly knows that we don't want to fight the Empire, right? Like, why
I
would
mean-
we lie about this?
So look, there's a difference between going all out in a frontal assault against the Empire. Yeah, it's a stupid idea. But you and
said
I
it.
have taken down some pretty nasty customers here in the last couple of weeks. You know, we can use our
That's not
skills
the
to
same
help
as
our
fighting the government.
mate. I mean, it's still the same set of skills. We'll be tracking things down. We'll be hunting them.
It all comes down to this scenario too. Like we don't know. I mean, where they're located at. Once we figure out where they're located at, we can formulate a better plan as far as what we want to do and how we can use our associated skills to pull it off.
Yeah, I still don't see how our skills are going to help with that. We hunt animals.
Yeah, people are animals there.
You
Yeah, but
hunted.
we hunt and kill them, stuff them, mount them, and eat them. Okay? I don't see how that's going to help us. Like, I don't want to go eating Imperial scum. They probably taste terrible.
If it'll make you feel better, when we find his friends, you can mount them and stuff them. You know, just don't eat 'em.
Friends?
Yeah, Argon's friends.
No.
It does make me feel a little better.
You get to keep whatever you find though. You know, except for those guys. You
Well,
want to
that doesn't
mount.
seem
You
like
want to
a
mount
great
some.
deal.
You want to mount some heads on the wall and stuff like that. Have to do with some Imperials. That's fine.
You can let me
Okay.
mount your friends on the wall?
No, I was talking about mounting them maybe in bed. Maybe they're into that kind of thing. But Koth, maybe
I'm not.
you can shed some light on the situation. Where do people go, and do they stay there long? Is this feasible? Can we actually nab his buddies?
It's feasible, but it ain't easy. So there's two basic ways we can go about it. Usually they've got different work camps that move around the planet, you know, doing various manual labors type stuff when they're on the planet. And then when they're not there, they're in one of the prison compounds scattered around the planet. Now, if you wanted to go frontal assault wise, which it doesn't sound like you want to do, we would just pick them when they're in a soft point and rate them that way. And that is a straightforward approach, but it is also bloody and has the potential for complications. Alternately, go ahead.
Yeah. I was going to ask if there was precedent. Have you ever heard of anybody maybe breaking out some prisoners?
He gets the most wicked grin, and he's like, yeah, I've definitely heard of people doing it. It has been done.
All right, that's what I like to hear.
Are these particular people? Do they do it professionally? Is it something that we can actually look at procuring their skills for doing the job, or?
That depends on what you got to offer pay-wise, but yeah, you could definitely hire on some people to help you as experts with that kind of thing. But there are also other options before you get too far ahead of yourself. If you wanted to do this your own way, you could try a much more sneaky approach. The problem is that if it goes off the rails, it really goes off the rails. Now, let's say hypothetically that you knew a couple of grade A slicers or had one on your team. You could, hypothetically, acquire access to the Imperial data vault in the Imperial complex. And you could slice in a work order that requires these two people to be moved to somewhere that you could just pick them up. Or, alternately, you could try the less risky approach of having them transferred to the Imperial Center. But calling them into the Imperial Center, once again, gives you the problem of you got to get them out of there.
How would that be less risky?
Getting them out of the... Go ahead.
If we put in an order, for a work camp, we just have your two buddies transferred way out in the middle of the boondocks, and we are out there to meet them, and take the bus or whatever they show up on.
Yep, that's exactly
Makes more sense.
that's exactly how it works. And there's a little more upfront risk with that plan, but that is the smoothest way to get it done.
Alright, so, Argon, I'm not going to beat around the bush, but do you have the funds to do this? Slicer is not going to come cheap.
What kind of money are we talking about?
The kind you use to buy things?
The amount of money.
I don't know. Never you bought a slicer before.
It depends on what grade of slicer you want. But you are talking many thousands of credits, no matter how you cut it.
I guess the ultimate question is, mate, what's your friends worth to you?
Well, I like to go and take care of the getting a slicer and actually going through and doing the slicer route. I think that makes the most amount of sense. If I don't have the funds, then hopefully I'll be able to borrow it from my buds, but we'll figure it out.
All right.
Do
So-
your friends in jail have any money? They come from like affluent backgrounds, anything like that? Would their parents want to, divvy up the bail, maybe?
Well, I don't know if there's a bail associated with it. It's more just hiring the skip tracer, right?
Yeah, mate, I was bail, quote unquote. It's you lie to his parents, mate. You say, hey, he's got pinched and he needs some bail money, but really we hire us, what we need.
Yeah, that's a possibility. That's definitely something we could route that we could do. Again, I kind of wanted to see what kind of dollars we're talking about here before we start moving forward and dishing out cash from other people.
If you were a slicer that would be graded, would you say you're an A grade slicer?
I'm not a slicer much at all, but I know a few.
So you're an F grade slicer.
I know my way around a computer, but that's mostly because cybernetics and starships and stuff like that I've had to deal with in the past. You gotta have to learn a little bit.
So, do you have a slicer that you would recommend for this particular job as far as the skills needed to be able to do that slice that we need?
Well, I know 3 different slicers.
All right.
One of them you've already met. 2 of them you already met. Kyle's one of them. He comes with the added complication of, despite being the best slicer on the potential list, he's a member of the Bounty Hunter Guild. And I happen to know that Argon has a pretty hefty bounty on his head. 2 of them, actually.
How much?
About 50,000. But
Wait, how much would the slicer? Well, hold on. How much would the slicer? You think we could get a good slicer for 50 grand?
Koth smirks.
We could turn him in, get the bounty, then use the bounty to have all of them sent out to the place in the boonies, and then break them all out. Literally using.
Yeah,
What?
that way you're on the inside, and we use your bounty as a prep for the score.
Yeah, we literally get them to pay us to break you out.
And you'd be on the inside. You'd be able to tell your buds what's the plan, so they're not, rabbiting.
50 grand would cover Kyle's expenses. And he'd probably even go along with it since it's for a good cause.
And he gets to turn in the bounty.
Yeah, which he normally doesn't do, because normally as a skip tracer, he just gets a commission. He normally passes on the info to an actual bounty hunter who chases you down. That is kind of the only wrinkle in the plan, is it might look a little suspicious that he's turning you in himself, especially if you immediately break out of prison. But that might be a wrinkle we can deal with.
Does he have a fall guy? Rather incompetent bounty hunter? Up and comer guy that he can pin it on?
I can ask.
Or does he have something else he can get when he's accessing this Imperial data vault?
That's also worth noting. Jeb is an information broker and might pay top dollar for some other information that comes off that vault. But I'll have to make some discreet inquiries, and the more people I bring in on this, the more chance that word of it will leak. So,
We got Dane. We could set him up to take the fall.
I don't think he's a bounty hunter.
No, I thought you were talking about maybe just we pin a slicer, crime on him, and he can take the fall. Log in with Dane's IP address, that kind of thing. Make it real easy. It's just an idea.
I don't know how that helps us too much. So I think the plan is Argon's going to turn himself in. We're going to find a young up and coming bounty
No,
hunter.
he can't turn himself in because you can't collect your own bounty.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, he's still actively going to
semantics.
prison.
Yeah. We're talking about broad, 10,000-foot view here.
And
You can't
then
see 10,000 feet.
Gar, Crikey, and me and Kyle are going to go to Imperial Data Vault. With the four of us are going to sneak in. Kyle's going to do some really good slicing. I'm going to do some not so good slicing, try to get as much information as I can from the data center. He's going to tell the Imperials that we need Argon and his two buddies sent to a prison transfer out in the middle of nowhere, and everybody's happy.
So,
Yeah, Bob's your uncle.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Koth says he takes a deep sip from his rum. You guys talk about this Dane guy. Is he on your crew?
Meh.
Well, I can't help but notice that, and I'm looking over Argon. It seems like he can handle himself in a fight, and that might become necessary. You hope not, but it might become necessary, and,
Oh, I know exactly what you're going to do.
I
Dane
mean-
can go in Argon's place. We just call him Argon.
that, might work. Where is this Dane guy?
He likes to count the pennies. I don't really understand what he's doing with them because he doesn't let us spend them. He just counts them.
Yeah, they're also digital on a card that he hides in a vault.
Yeah, I've seen him try to swim into the card.
Like Scrooge
don't think
McDuck
he's very-
style.
I don't think he's very smart.
Yeah, I think we could convince him to be Argon and get turned in. How about? Oh, yeah, I love it. Perfect.
It is a good plan. I like it more and more. Question: is there a downside if we just keep the money and forget about them? Is that not an option?
Now, we want to get his friends out. We can leave Dane in there, though.
But
The other
50
thing, we can't really trust Dane to get the job done. I'm just suggesting this. We get a tattoo gun. We write the instructions on his chest so he can't forget.
Yeah, but then everyone would see it. And, I mean, he's gonna be naked. It's prison. There's prison sex.
Oh man, the wardens are gonna dress him down.
Yeah. You know he's got a pretty mouth.
All right. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
But maybe we could like carve out a little piece that won't get. No, they scan you when you go to prison. We're just gonna have.
What if we hypnotized him so that when he sees your friends, he has to, he remembers what to tell them?
Huh. Has Dane been injured recently?
We could do some shock training. Like we show him a picture of the friends, we repeat the words, shock him.
Yeah, I think he has been injured lately.
I agree.
Enough that he
Right.
may.
Mess his face up a little bit.
Well, that might happen in the course of him being apprehended, or Argon being apprehended, I should say. Because he's going to have a little bit of minor surgery to have his chain code made, or his DNA made to match the chain code temporarily. You could possibly put a. So I do this well. I'll tell you a trade secret.
I can do facial surgery.
Yeah, his chest is cut open. Remember that surgery droid?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
Right
get some
now.
surgery done.
I think he's low on fluids, so all we have to do really is get Argon's blood into Dane's body, right? So the scans pick up Argon.
It's not quite that simple, but I have done it before. It is doable, especially if they're injured. It'll just show up as an anomaly due to the injury, and if you got enough droid parts, you can build a little transponder that after he's gone through a certain amount of time, meaning after he's been through processing, can activate. And the transponder can do simple things like ping a frequency that we can track.
We've got a bunch of cybernetic parts we took off of some cybernetically enhanced super Nexu.
As would be the kind of parts you'd need.
I also feel like Gar, when he said needs a little bit of Argon's blood, has his knife like on the back of Argon.
No, I popped claws. I had my hand on his shoulder and my claws just slowly came out.
Your new cybernetic claws or gloves.
Yeah, both sets.
Now,
So-
is Kyle willing to accept the risk on that, though? I mean, because if we go through with that kind of concept, even if we go through the idea, even if I did it, whether myself or Dane, we're still looking at the risk of course, it looking kind of suspicious.
We still got to pitch this to Kyle, but he's a friend of mine, and I think that he would accept it. If not, there are other slicers around, but it gets more complicated with anyone else.
I'd rather kind of be as simple as possible. I don't want to go too complicated, so I think Kyle might be the best resort. So that might be something we need to discuss with him, maybe.
I mean, I agree, but generally the way I do this is way more simple. I just, wait for them to be in a camp and then shoot the shuttle down. But, that's my way of doing it. I'll go get Kyle if you're ready to talk to him.
Well, actually, a question though: do we know where they're at, where they're being held at? Are we in a situation where we can shoot down a shuttle?
Well, we could scope it out. We could still use Kyle to scope it out, but I bet that would be cheaper than the whole. Well, I mean, we still have the problem of you are a bounty worth 50,000.
Well, it also, that involves direct combat with the Empire, which I thought you wanted to avoid. But I don't have any such qualms. You may or may not have noticed the Imperial Stormtroopers don't come in here very often.
Yeah, and if you kill everybody, no one can tell the tale.
Hey! Call out that gives you the biggest smile, pats the Wookiee on the arm, is like, I like you.
Yeah, same. All right. So I think we need to scope it out a little bit, try to figure out where they are. Either they're in the mobile work camp or they're in the prison compound. But regardless, we gotta go get them.
I agree with the scoping out, so I think we need to go and give that a check out, find out what's going on, and get the details, and be able to formulate a plan once we know more details.
All right. Let me go make sure Kyle's on board with this. I'll be right back. Walks over here. There's a lively conversation. Kyle comes back with a big old smirk on his face, and he's like, I had a feeling you guys were going to come around eventually. What's the request specifically?
Do you think we're gonna just turn him over to you?
Hooker's hands Kyle a peach Bellini.
He takes a sip of it. He's like, that's pretty amazing. No, I don't know what you're talking about with turn him over to me. I did offer to sell you some information last time.
Is that still up for grabs?
Sure, I can give you what I know. But it sounded like when Koth was talking to me, you're going to need a considerable amount more than just what I know.
Yeah, we're trying to formulate a plan. If everybody's cool with it, it has to do with Argon here. Well, we're going to use a double, really. But you're going to turn in Argon for the bounty. And he's going to get in, and then we need your slicer skills to get into that Imperial data vault and order a transfer for quote-unquote Argon and his two buddies. So we can go pick them up nice and easy.
I turn a bounty in, and a couple days later, he mysteriously disappears from Imperial custody?
Well, he might stay. The double might stay. We need the buddies, though.
Well, even if you left the double, they'd eventually figure out that he wasn't the right person.
Yeah, it looks
How
bad
about
for you.
this? When the double and everybody kind of gets together, when the three of us are in the same meeting point where we're actually going to get evac'd, why don't we fake our deaths?
Now, that sounds like a good...
Say something happens to the transport, it gets destroyed by some other militant group that doesn't like the Empire just as much as we do, and then all of a sudden, hey, explosions happen, people die, bodies become, unrecognizable.
We still need bodies with that plan, but I like it. It's dark.
Well, I've seen bodies that actually, turn into dust too, right? Depending on what happens and what kind of explosion it is.
Yeah, if it's hot enough.
Yeah, aren't we hunters? Aren't there creatures that would attack an Imperial compound and leave nothing but scat?
It's an idea too.
Yeah, you can always like shoot some kind of pheromone at the transport.
I grab Gar's hand and say, "These look like Nexu claws, right?"
I think
Yes,
typical.
they are Nexiclaws. That's why they look like Nexiclaws. You were there when we took these off the Nexu.
Yep. I was also there when I made this really cool glove.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't really understand the questioning here.
Yeah, so he wants to use an actual wild animal, where I'm looking at one right now.
Where?
It's it calls itself a Trandoshan.
There's another one?
Yes, he's in this small glass shiny thing. I show you a mirror.
Well, now the place we just came from, also, they were doing studies on how to remote control the animals, right? Is there anything that we've learned from that would be able to help us to be able to do a remote control of an animal that could easily take care of the destruction of the said transport and people?
Not that we learned, but we could always say there's Mandalorians we made friends with.
And we gotta hope that they contact us soon. Those guys were cool. Except they try to blow us up. Maybe.
They didn't try to blow us up. They just did not try to blow us up.
I don't think we looked like a threat to them at all. I don't think they were too concerned at all.
So what I hear is we need to do some surgery on Dane, do a little bit of surgery on Argon, and let's get this thing rolling.
But I like the idea of us having that, because again...
Oh no, we need another...
Because we're doing the 5,000 credits here as far as the bounty, and we're worried about it coming back on Kyle, that of course he's collecting on a bounty that all of a sudden somebody escapes on. So I like the idea of us actually having him being able to skip trace to the point where conveniently the three of us all show up in one spot, and then of course arrange for that destruction of that vessel, and of course the freeing of our friends, and then of course the obliteration of whatever's left.
So Kyle's gonna be like, I see a couple of holes in your plan, but it's workable. Thing number one we're gonna want to address is it's a 50,000 credit bounty, and I still yet to hear what exactly beyond. You say you want to hack into the Imperial data vault, like that's doable, but you can't just walk in and do it. So how are we accomplishing that? That's item number one. Item number two, the destruction of said shuttle. How? I mean, it's doable, but you're going to want to fill in the blanks on that.
The shuttle needs to land first, and then we need some kind of giant worm-like creature or rocket launcher. You know anybody who sells rocket launchers?
Koth is drunkenly putting his arm as up as he can get it. He's about fallen out of the chair.
Mr. Koth, are you a rocket launcher?
I have been known to identify as a rocket launcher.
I found us a way to destroy a shuttle. Now, how about that Imperial data bank? Tell me more about that. Have you been in the Imperial data bank before?
Kyle's like, wait, stop. You could not take Koth's drunken admission of I was a rocket launcher as I have solved this problem. It's a big problem. And he's drunk.
Now wait a second. We were also talking about Dane, and now Dane had a gaping hole in his chest. Can't we just shove some explosives in there, and then when he's ready to use them, pop them out and place them?
What?
I don't think
Use it like a pocket.
That's right.
Note to self: never, ever, ever let Argon do any medical work on you, ever.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna do it. I was just thinking that somebody could do it.
Yeah, that doesn't really change my statement at all.
Kyle's looking a little nervous about this whole arrangement.
You're nervous. How do you think we feel?
Right, so I think maybe we just need to scope out a lot of stuff here and try to figure some stuff out. So, like the Imperial Data Vault, we'd like to check that out before we make our move.
So,
because we got to get in and out of there.
that's a great idea. Kyle kicks Koth's boot as Koth slumps all the way against the wall and he starts to pass out. What did you give him? He looks at Hookers. And then he's like, that's that guy's crew has actually drilled it once and the Imperials have replaced it, but they basically just did a repair. If you can find yourself some mining drills and the right equipment to go underground, I can probably get you to that data vault. It does involve going through some Imperial sentries, but it's a doable process. I give you a list of materials you're going to need and a basic layout. Unless you want to try to freehand it and do it on your own. I mean, there's probably more than one way to skin a cat hound.
Nah, I like that idea.
Um,
I don't really like going underground, but
As far-
finding it.
As far as destroying the shuttle is concerned, procuring rocket launchers isn't a terrible idea. But, you might want to plan B too.
Well, do we want the thing to look like it was an accident, or do we want to have it be planned?
Oh man, you guys remember that giant squid thing? I mean, if it just lands close to that squid thing will take the entire ship.
Right, that's pretty dangerous. Very chaotic. I think if you want to take it down with a rocket launcher, I would wait for them to disembark and then have them all, file out and we just blast them.
And we're just gonna take the ship and fly it somewhere else?
We could then make it look like an accident, make it look like it crashed.
What if we have them land where we saw that giant Rancor, and then we set up a trap where we kind of summon the Rancor with the beast call thing?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think anybody's going to be stupid enough to land out there, but even if they are, where does that leave your friends?
Right in the Rancor.
Not with the Imperials.
Yeah, they'll be inside the Rancor.
What's usually the population of these transport ships? I mean, how many people they usually transport? What's the guard scenario?
Depends on the ship. Depends on the detail. That's one of the things we'd have to work out with the slice.
So, Koth said he'd brought some down before, so we can just blame it on him, maybe? How does he get away with it?
I
He's
think he kills all the people.
There
he's
you go.
he's kind of a pirate.
There
So
we go. We spray paint some piratey symbols on it, make it look like it's somebody else. That way, Argon, you're scot off free, and so are your buddies. Make it look like they've been captured by pirates.
Sounds good to me, because the Empire's not going to care. Just get rid of us as long as we're taken care of and off the streets, right?
this is a bad plan.
Why?
Kyle's like, well, first off, I won't help you if this is your plan. That's item number 1. Item number 2, Koth's group is not going to appreciate being framed up for a job they didn't do. That's not to say they wouldn't necessarily have helped you if you asked, but if you try something underhanded like this, you might piss off the wrong people. And item number 3, the Empire's already branded Koth's groups as rebels, so what they're going to do is assume that your people were being rescued by their fellow rebels, and their entire families are going to be arrested.
All right. So not necessarily necessarily Koth's group, but the other pirates in the area, maybe?
Who's Koth's been running around killing, which is why he's kind of the only game in town.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, it changes things.
I mean, you could try to find another group. There's other criminal organizations that are not completely unheard of in the area.
Yeah, we make enemies as long as we, finger somebody else. I like using an animal attack if we can make it less chaotic. Of course, you use your claws there, guy. It looks like a Nexu. They don't come down on you. They investigate the Nexu in the area. We already know we've cleared out some Nexu in a certain spot. So why don't we have the work order bring everybody there? The Imperials probably already think it's a hot spot. And then, of course, the people die to crazy Nexu attacks. We just make it look like it's an animal attack.
You have close too.
I really like the idea of it looking like some animal attack, so that way it's not really fingering it on anybody in particular. But of course, the idea of the destruction should be the goal, as far as the three of us looking like we're already dead, so nobody comes looking for us anymore.
Right, so you gotta get some bodies that'll double as yourself. Well, really, Dane and your two buddies.
Well, I think we got some of those. Didn't we have some of those in that underground place that we went to last time?
I think they got exploded.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
So it sounds like your phase one is you gotta find a surgeon who can make a swap and make Argon look like Dane and Dane look like Argon. Close enough to fool at least a cursory chain code scan.
Yeah. How long do you think that'll take?
I don't actually know the exact person to do it, but I can do some asking or put you on a lead. I don't know exactly how long it takes. It's probably not very long. It sounds like you also need to fabricate some sort of transponder so you can track his location.
It's like a small droid. I can do that.
Okay.
Also, I think Chip, the meat guy, he'd be good at surgery.
So, he's tapping on his datapad. Something I can give you is I know the location of some of the mining equipment we'll need to open up the access way to get to the underside of the data vault. And you may want some sort of cover story, disguise, something so in case you are seen by some form of security and it's reported, they don't immediately come looking for you specifically. He looks at Gar and Crikey and he's like, I'm not positive that's going to work completely for everyone, but maybe there's something you can do. There is various companies around that have services they offer to various people. Maybe you can find a uniform or something. He clicks off a few things on the data pad and he's like, here's my comm code. When you've got the stuff to start the drills and you've got your friend Dane sorted, give me a call. And he reaches over and picks Koth up. And you realize that's not human style strength. And Kyle said something about cybernetics. And he basically just picks up Koth and hauls him off.
He said he did know somebody. I bet it's the cybernetic guy. He might be a pretty good doctor.
So you get a text message with a little bit of info for a cybernetics doctor right there in the same district you're in. I need to pull a little bit of data real quick. First and
Is
foremost.
everybody okay with this plan?
Yeah, I mean, it's not hunting. Oh, I'm getting no footage at all. But we gotta keep everybody happy. Argon's gotta save his buddies. And you gotta stick it to the Empire.
I mean, they've been real jackasses lately. So, I don't feel bad about it. We might get into the vault there and realize that they're already in a mobile work camp. and then we can do the Nexu thing. Well, it depends on how many people are in the work camp. We can also try to sneaky in, sneaky out, get them.
I mean, I think we're hacking the database so that we can tell them, here's an order, please send these 3 people to this location.
Yeah,
And depending
we're
upon-
sending Dane in first before we do it.
That's the
This could be really messy.
we gotta get the money from that to then fund the other things, because it's gonna cost money to buy. He goes mining equipment, like heavy duty mining underneath of a Imperial facility.
Buddy, we're not buying those, we're stealing them.
I mean, that's probably a better idea, actually.
Guy, what do you think about all this?
I think it's all a terrible idea.
You don't really want to do this whole thing, huh?
No, not at all. It's a bad idea. It's gonna go poorly.
Yeah, probably. That's why we got you, big guy. You can get us out of there.
Yeah, he said we need like vests and work reasons. That's why we're getting all these. That's why we're drilling, just in case, because we're gonna be real close to the Imperials.
So, I mean, I think Kyle said it, maybe some disguises. There's probably a construction firm or something right on the, here that we could, quote unquote, work for. Maybe get some uniforms from them.
Also, Argon here is human, and you guys are big, strong things. I say it hurts me to say this, but if he had a good story, he could be telling you guys what to do, and only he has to worry about the consequences. You guys are just you're his slaves.
What was that?
I said I didn't want to say it out loud.
Yeah, I suggest you don't say something like that again.
But I mean, that's an amazing cover story.
You want to pull his arms off, or you want me to do it?
All you, man.
All right. So I'm going to grab you by the arms. I'm not going to pull them off, but I want to look deep into your eyes, and I want you to realize that that's a bad move.
Yep, I'm gonna walk to the bar afterwards, and I'm gonna get you a big glass of Jaeger, like some kind of blood that's been. That's what you need right now.
Right, I like the construction workout idea. Maybe we can get some vests, make it look legit, and some of those plastic hats that they got. I think they're called hard hats.
Argon, your datapad dings name it'll just says surgeon's name, Bacon Crintheme, and it gives you a location in the local area.
All right. Okay. What was the name again?
So it's spelled Bacan, which to me is bacon. Crunthem, Cruthem. Bothan. He's a Bothan cybernetic surgeon.
Gotcha.
Is that name that pops up say Crunchy Bacon? And that's a surgeon? Yeah, that's the best.
Kind of cool, huh? Well, maybe we need to go check out this Crunchy Bacon guy and get some information on this and see what we can do on this swap.
Maybe we should get some hands on Dane and take him over there. So,
Yeah, that's good.
you want to meet over there? I'll go get him. Guy, you can come with me. We'll grab Dane and we'll take him over to the surgeon.
All right, so
Crunchy bacon.
we'll meet over there.
So, which group wants to go first?
Oh, let's go find Dane.
You guys find Dane passed out in bed. He's taken quite a few painkillers. As a matter of fact, quite a few more than he needed to take. So this isn't going to be too difficult. The hardest part of this operation is going to be, if you really roughly manhandle him, you may open his wounds back up.
I'm just gonna bend over and put him over my shoulder.
Okay.
Before you do that, I'm gonna go ahead and trank him, just to make sure he stays out.
Okay.
He
That's-
doesn't seem like he's gonna want to wake up for any of this.
That's a reasonable precaution. You want him to wake up in prison. Got it.
Yes, I think that is the safest thing for everyone.
He's gonna be so mad. Instead of throwing him over my shoulder, I'm gonna baby carry him.
Okay.
In both arms, and I'm gonna lightly, gently, maybe bump his head a few times as I'm going through doorways, but I'll get him to the surgery.
Okay. So, it's over here.
Hey, you guys are here already.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna
I can't-
talk to him first.
Can't spell things. Well, hold on. We'll have them come in at a strategic time. So you guys get to the cyber surgery. It's a crusty little door in the back of a kind of like between two different market stalls, and it doesn't have any like neons or signs or anything advertising what it is. And when you come in, there's like a single surgical table. It's a really high tech one, and then there's like mounts on the walls full of like cabinets with various different implements and stuff, and a single guy on one terminal. It's like the whole room.
Hey, good afternoon. It's nice to see you. I've met a lot of the shop owners around here, but I've never made it through into yours. My name is Hook Cruz. I'm running a cool TV show. I used to be a bartender. We're running a lot of cool hunting things, but we have a mutual friend named Kyle, and he said that you'd be interested in doing some really cool surgery. Are you the right guy?
The Bothan looks at you, and he's like, I don't know who you are. This is a referral-only business. I don't know who this Kyle person is, or how he got my name, although I am now very alarmed and concerned. And I certainly don't want any part of any type of holo show.
Oh, so by me running a hollow show, like you see any cameras here, like I'll actually give me a cool pat down. I'm going to like take my cameras and walk out of the door and come right back. Say, hey guys, go home.
Okay.
No cameras at all.
Bothan is still very, like...
I then reach into my pockets and I reach out. I got a $500 credit chit, and I put that down there. And I say, so my Kyle is a bounty hunter. He definitely referred us to you. Let me see if I can get. Do you need like to talk to him? You said you don't know Kyle.
I'm very alarmed. And like he's got his hand on his blaster, like he's seconds away from shooting you.
Argon, you know anybody? That Kyle was the guy that told us to talk to this guy. As I take a step back,
Exactly. And we're doing some work with Kyle.
Can you roll an intelligence check real quick? You're name dropping someone's gonna get you shot. Like,
What's that?
I just either one of you roll an intelligence check. 2 purples. Like, you really need some help here.
I'm quick on my feet. I didn't read the situation very well.
You are quick on your feet. You recover, realizing that the slicer probably just hacked into this guy's files, and he has no fucking clue who you're talking about, but now realizes he's been had. Kyle never said he would, like, give you a legitimate contact. He just gave you a location.
So I
Also, in that business, you would never name drop like that. Like, you would never do that.
Hookers isn't an underworld guy. He's an overworld guy.
I know. It's 100% what he would do. But, like, Argon would know better. But Hookroos wouldn't. Hookroos is a bartender, but Argon's a smuggler. He would know you never go in and just start dropping your contacts' names with people you don't intimately trust.
Hookers puts 500 credits on the table, takes a step back, and said, "Oh, I think the name of our mutual contact might be on that piece of paper right there."
The Bothan is not like, you're not placating him with money. He's alarmed. He's alarmed that his whole business is compromised and that his life is in jeopardy. That little bit of money is not, you're not smoothing things over with.
Yeah, sorry if I have to. Sorry about this. I have to apologize for my friend there. I know that I can see that you're alarmed, you're nervous. I get it. I completely understand. But if you look at your associated data pad, you'll find some information about me in there that should be able to give you enough information to be able to proceed with our arrangements or details in our business transaction.
Give me a streetwise. It's gonna be one red, one purple. You could also roll knowledge underworld if it's better. It's actually better to do streetwise. Give me your character sheet.
Which one was it?
It's one yellow and two greens. Streetwise is a better check for you, assuming that your character sheet's up to date.
It should be. You said we're doing streetwise then, right? Yeah, so it's one yellow, two greens.
Okay. Then give it a roll. Let's see if Argon can slip in here and salvage this. All right, that's a really good pass. So, with 4 successes, he's like, all right. So he starts like typing on his terminal and looking up information for you, and sees that you have a registered bounty, which ironically puts him a little bit more at ease. Because you're definitely not with the authorities if you're, if you got a bounty on your head. And he taps a few things together, and he's like, all right, hypothetically, let's say that you're on the level and you're here to do business. I am a cybernetic surgeon. I do facial reconstructions and under-the-table cybernetics mods. What could you possibly need from me?
So precisely that. So we're looking at actually trading out some chips to fake an identity on someone else. So basically switching an identity and make someone look, basically switching the way that they look. And that's why we were kind of interested in procuring your services.
Okay. And what do you have to trade? About this time, Dane can show up with the other two. So, a Trandoshan, in quotation marks, and a Wookiee drag a unconscious human through the door. I imagine very loudly.
No, I got him baby carried, but yeah, bump his head a little bit. He's snoring in my arms. Looks pretty cute. Maybe drooling a little bit.
A little bit of a black eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you can see, Bacon, these are some of my comrades, my friends here. We're actually bringing Dane and myself are the ones that are here. We're interested in actually switching identities between myself and Dane. And as far as payment, were you looking for credits? Were you looking for? You mentioned a trade.
Jesus. You want a full swap? You're talking about permanent or temporary?
Definitely temporary. We're looking for enough of a swap on a temporary basis to actually fool the Imperial for a period of time.
Can you define the period of time? And do you want to have his signature, or you just want him to have yours?
I would like him to have my signature.
Is he going to consent to this arrangement?
And does
He's
that matter,
consented,
Bacon?
right? He's considered. That's why he's here.
That's why he's waving his hand.
Ah,
Yeah, you can see Crikey down there holding Dane's hand in the air, swaying it back and forth. See, he's giving consent right now.
I put my other hand on his jaw, and I say, I would like to be Argon.
oh boy.
Yeah. Also, he needs a transponder that's dormant for a while and then comes on.
There's already room in his chest for that.
Yeah, we also like pre-prepped him for surgery. Look at that beautiful incision right on his chest.
We anesthetized him.
Okay.
Of course, as a side note, Bacon, we understand he's in pretty rough condition. Obviously, if there's anything we could do to prolong his life, which would be nice.
I can wake him up if you need me to.
He looks around at you guys, and he's like, 30,000 credits. Or, because I'm assuming that as he says that, you guys shit your pants. He's like, I might be able to trade favors if you are a capable enough crew.
The trading of favors is something that we could definitely do. We are definitely a group that does do favors. Now, of course, it depends on the type of favor, and that's something we could discuss.
Folds his arms, and he says, I'm not going to ask any more questions about why you need what you need. I probably don't want to know. So I expect you not to ask too many questions about what I need. What I need is an Imperial TIE fighter.
Oh, me too, mate.
Yeah, I'll take one.
Do you need it to fly?
Yes.
That's the question. Sorry.
I need it completely intact and with its transponder able to act as an actual Imperial TIE fighter.
And do you have a time frame on said request?
Before you want delivery of this patsy.
So before this takes place.
Yes.
Actually, I was almost thinking we could probably get one once it was already completed, but
Yeah, that would require for us to have an established trust. And he looks around at the people in the room and he's like, and that has definitely not happened yet.
And so Cruz is trying to figure out if he can get his 500 credits off the table.
You gonna reach up there and take them? I mean, they're right in front of you and within an arm's length. He has made no attempt to pick them up.
Gart reaches out and picks them up and is like, I don't see Kyle's name on these hookers, and puts them in his pocket.
So do you have like a down payment offer? Can we give you some down payment? Is that a establishment of trust?
Down payment. So you wanted to go with the cash route for the 30K. I'll take half up front, half on delivery. That's fair.
You strike a tough bargain.
Wait, hold up. If we're getting the money by turning him in,
You also have to realize that 50K is already spoken for.
yeah, that 50K is already gone. So that's why I was kind of wondering, maybe we do need to offer some kind of collateral, maybe.
We don't have a lot of collateral.
I think Gar may have missed that this isn't Kyle. This is the Dr. Bacon that they're talking to.
No, he said the there was a name on the money
Ah,
that was the guy that gave him the reference.
I got you.
I'm paying attention.
That was Hooker's way
Guys,
of
I don't
being
think this is gonna
sneaky.
work. We're gonna have to find another slicer or doctor.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah, but he already half knows a lot of things.
We don't have 30K, nor do we have the skills to steal a TIE fighter.
Yeah, but if see, that's the part where
Well, hold on. That the second part, you don't have the skills to steal TIE Fighter? Because the GM wouldn't have,
Animal.
the GM wouldn't have thrown that out there if it were not a possibility.
I would agree with that.
Because
I
you
don't have the skills.
you know. Oh yeah, no. You as an individual can't one man this. That is 100% true. But that's going to be true for the whole heist.
Me as an individual can't one man this, nor do I add anything to stealing a TIE fighter besides what's the word I'm looking for?
An amazing stealth roll.
Decoy. I am the decoy.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine this TIE fighter's in the woods. The pilot needs to go take a pee. You now have a snack.
Why is there a TIE fighter in the woods?
Because we told it to land out there to help escort
Wait,
the.
how did we do that? We can't even get this guy. Wait, no, that's
We have the skip tracer.
We've got a hacker. We're going to get into there. We're going to say, we need you to bring a transport ship, and there is known activities of anti-air things. So we need one TIE fighter and one TIE fighter only. I don't know. That's kind of sketchy. But whatever. It's the Imperial Order. They just do what they get told. TIE fighter goes out.
Do you have... okay, so... We have to get the TIE fighter before we can do the things to make things go places.
Yeah, we're talking it through. Because he needs a TIE fighter before we can ask him to hack into the Imperial base before we can ask for a TIE fighter. Or we could just go looking for TIE fighters in the woods.
That's not a thing.
We got Dane all ready to go. I mean, he's on the table. You can't just, how long does the surgery take? To do the swap.
I don't know for sure until I have a look at him, but it won't be more than, say, 24 hours.
So we got 24 hours to steal a TIE fighter.
No, because he's not going to do anything until he has the TIE fighter. He's made that very clear, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him. We're a bunch of random idiots who just came in with a half-assed plan.
I mean, let's form this plan into a whole-ass plan. If we get a TIE fighter, I can fly it. Where do you want it, Bacon?
Oh, I have landing coordinates for a nearby vessel. Incidentally, if you do it that way, and I actually really do hope that you do, I will do this job for you, and then I will not be here anymore for you to converse with, because I'm going to have to leave with that said TIE fighter. But I might be back sometime in the future once my business is taken care of.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Depends on how cleanly this whole thing goes. Also, there are a number of pads around the city where Imperials keep a couple TIE fighters available to help local law enforcement. I'm just saying, if I were going to steal one, I'd want the one that was by itself on a rooftop.
That would definitely work. Do we know where we can find one that is all alone on a rooftop?
If only some of your party members slept on the roof.
Yeah, I sleep on the roof.
You guys have
The
done.
thing is trying to get keys for the damn thing.
There you go. There's a problem.
Yeah, but isn't he a smuggler? They steal cars all the time, right?
Argon, are you that kind of smuggler?
Just reach into his pockets.
Definitely not one that have actually gone out and stole cars before.
Oh, well, that's too bad. We need somebody that can hotwire.
I can take a quick look-sees out there. I mean, how different is a droid and a TIE fighter?
Pretty different.
Damn
One of them
different.
flies around deep space and can achieve speeds greater than light, and the other one can tell you to go fuck yourself in thousands of languages.
I feel like fucking yourself in thousands of languages is way harder than just being airtight. And I'm pretty sure TIE fighters can't fly faster than light.
Of course they can. How else do they get around the galaxy? The
You
galaxy's
need to
huge.
do a scan or anything on Argon to get his dimensions, profile, and all that stuff to make Dane's face look like his.
Yes, I will need to get a couple of scans of both individuals. Also, I need a little bit more detail on your transponders, the cybernetic transponder you want. How long does it need to be off? And when you say it needs to send a signal, what kind of signal are you looking for?
All right, that's hooker.
Yeah, we need it like real quiet, but sending it to these very specific coordinates. I mean, to these very specific frequencies, and just like GPS location, so we know exactly where he is.
What do you want the range to be?
Is quarter planetary a range? Is that too much?
I could probably work something like that out, but that's going to be a very strong signal if it's constant. If you want it to stay under the radar, it's going to have to ping, for that kind of range, it's going to have to pulse for like a quarter of a second every 6 or 7 hours.
That's a lot. Yeah, let's not do... Oh, no, but we don't want to lose him. Well, we also... Yeah, no, we want the smaller one, less not planetary range.
As you guys are having this conversation, Dane, who's completely unconscious, rips the worst fart in the history of farts. You're pretty sure that some Giza have crawled in him and died.
Maybe there's more room in there. You could fit a bigger battery in there, right, Doc? Put it up his ass.
I wouldn't do that. It seems like a bad idea right
He
before-
rips another one. Gosh, who knows?
Right before going to prison, that seems like a bad idea.
That's the first place they check.
I mean, really get it up in there.
That's the second place they check.
Put it behind his uvula, but from the bottom.
You guys are great.
All right, mate. I mean, I think I can go scope out a TIE fighter real quick, and me and Guy, maybe we can. I mean, Hook, everybody, we can come. And we're gonna go steal a TIE fighter, mate.
We'll get back to you with more details about the transponder. I'm thinking not quarter planetary because that's way too much. Give me like 300 meters because we just need to know when he's getting closer.
Sure thing. You got plenty of time. You come back when you got my TIE fighter. Good luck. Try not to die. And if you do get mortally wounded, have your friends drag you back here. I might be able to put you back together.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Hey, do you have any qualms with us leaving Dane behind here just during our travels?
Yeah, you can strap him down if you want.
No problem whatsoever. If you guys don't come back, though... Oh, you already left. Okay, no problem. You didn't need to know anyway.
Yeah,
Basically
have
pawned
fun.
him. I mean, he uses bits, parts, whatever. All right. As
Get
we
the
exit,
recycle.
as we exit his store, do we see a TIE fighter on any roof?
So, Crikey and Gar both sleep on the roof. You guys have definitely seen them patrolling around. It's one of the few signs of Imperial presence that there is. The models that are patrolling around here tend to fly real slow and use a spotlight in place of one of their cannons. They're definitely used for law enforcement purposes. With that said, I'm going to have you guys do me like a perception check to see if you can remember where one landed pretty close by.
Do we even want to get one from this area? We could get one from like the city, right?
That's a decision on you. I want the check. It's going to be 2 purples. I just want the check to know if you know where one is. But you can decide if it's close or far away. That's up to you.
You get 2 blues if we're doing this together.
Ah, shit, I forgot him. That's okay.
I would imagine that this is a conversation you're having together.
And then I said
think we're
separate
just
the
standing on a
blues.
rooftop, just staring out, looking for.
Oh, nice. There we go. Your blues helped me.
Excellent. That's your blues helped me. I don't hear that horribly often.
Right.
Yeah. Usually they're just blank.
So, you guys definitely know near and far away where some of the TIE fighters lift off and basically squat from. And what's more, let's see, you had 2 advantages and you had 1 threat. Crikey, you're relatively certain with the construction of some of these buildings, you could use your claws to free climb the outside. The problem is, you'd probably be the only one.
Guy's got claws now. He can't use them to climb.
It's not. They're not
Yeah,
for. They're not for climbing. I'm not saying he can't use them for it. Like you can use things for. You can use tools for things they weren't designed for. Your claws are designed for climbing.
So, the place that I remember that's kind of close is actually like a police impound lot where they get take stuff back to it, and there's a big hangar there, right?
Okay, I like the sound of this.
So there's a bunch of vehicles that have been impounded, and then the TIE fighters sitting up on the landing pad. There's a big fence around it.
Sounds perfectly reasonable. I like this. I like all these details. They're all going to be a thing. So what's the plan?
Well, we can wait until dark and go in there under the cover of night, sneak through, and get access to the TIE fighter. By probability, hopefully there's a pilot on duty that's just kind of chilling, waiting for action. We can take him out, get the keys, fly it home.
How do we get the Empire from not following us after we swipe this thing?
Right, so we give it to Bacon, and it's his fucking problem.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I like that.
Hookers has been in the Circle Merchant asking if they have a silencer.
For a ballistic pistol or a blaster?
For a sniper rifle.
Oh, for your sniper
Pick up
rifle.
a bow.
Yes, you can have one affixed if it has a hard point available.
It's got a hard point.
It's in the generator and it's super easy to attach. And whatever its market value is, he'll give it to you at that.
I picked up a bow.
Bowcaster.
I picked up a regular bow.
Nice.
All right. So this impound lot, is this on ground level or is this high up?
Oh, good call.
Because originally I was going to have it be on top of a building, but
It makes sense if it was an impound lot full of flying vehicles.
it would, or that they use the TIE fighters to tow in crates and stuff from out in the jungle.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Can I get a? Can I see if they have a electronic sighting mod that I can put on the bow?
What's the rarity on it?
Rarity is 4, I think.
Yeah, I was about to say 4 and less. You almost certainly can find it or have it fabricated. In this case, I'm going to let you just have it.
Sweet. That will make my ability to use the bow better.
Okay. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to drag you guys off the map, and we're going to start putting the target area together. Unless anyone else needs to do any shopping.
I don't have a silenced ranged weapon. It's kind of scaring me.
Would you like one?
Yeah. How about Argon? Does he have a silenced ranged weapon?
I don't. I'm
There's a
only
crossbow.
good for the.
There's-
Let's see. Well,
Oh,
light
crossbow.
ranged.
There's also throwing knives. I'm just saying.
Daggers is what he needs.
Now, as far as light range is concerned, what's the range on light ranged? I assume that's just light as far as power is concerned.
So the range is part of your equipment, not part of your skill to use it. Light range doesn't have a definitive range. You can get everything from long to engaged, but that's dependent on the weapon. So your DL-44, for example, where it says range on the card, it says medium. So that's medium range. You also don't have a silenced weapon, so
Nope, I don't.
you guys may
And I
want
would
to
like to.
look into that. There's several options around, in both the Circa store and in the Blaster store that's here in the hall. Also, if you ask around, because you now know some guys who are into various exploits, they might have a trick or two that you could use.
I bet Kyle, or yeah, Cough. Bet he does. Where's the crossbow? I can't find it.
It was in the vendor that's inside. The vendor outside had a regular bow. The vendor inside had the crossbow. And I took the bolt card.
I'll just take this vibro axe.
Oh man, that's a medium ranged weapon.
Wait, what? The vibro range? The vibro axe is medium range?
In the
No, it's
hands of a
melee.
Wookiee?
Yeah, I wish I could throw it. That'd be fucking sick.
You can throw just about any weapon, but it won't do the weapon damage.
No.
Oh, hey, did that glaive that I ordered ever come in?
Did you ever send it to me in the text like I asked you to?
Pretty sure I did. I always do.
Usually do, but I don't remember seeing it. Let me double check it. I think you just sent me the name and I wanted stats. Was the
Oh.
Like-
how
like-
do I send you-
I wanted to know what page and what book it was and that kind of stuff.
Oh, hold on. I'll Google it, or I'll look it up in here. Was it glaive?
Glaive.
I don't even see the name of it. I could be
Not a
scrolling.
glaive. It's
Vibro Beastmaster Vibroglaive is what you have it listed as. It's not a thing that I'm familiar with as an item.
It doesn't have the same name as the generator, or it does, but it doesn't. Hold on. Beastmaster's Vibroglaive. It's called that in the details, but not in the actual thing. It's just called a Vibroglaive in the generator. But if you
Says-
open it, it's called a Vibroglaive in the description.
If you scroll down to the bottom of the description, what book is it from?
Lords of Nalhutta, page 103.
Thank you. That's what I need.
So you were saying there were silenced weapons inside these shops?
Yeah, there are weapons that can be silenced inside the shops.
There, I found the crossbow.
And the DL44 can't?
No, the O44 is a blaster. Actually, well, the can't's a strong word. You can silence the sound of a blaster. It's a very expensive mod. However, it still shoots a beam of light. So, take that for what you will.
Pew pew. Hey, I bet this is pretty quiet.
Okay, just don't accidentally pick the wrong crossbow.
And it's short range. It's ranged light.
It's medium range.
It requires
The stealth palm shooter is what I'm talking about.
Oh.
two hands to wield, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that changes anything.
Just making sure you know.
And of course, crossbows are always quiet, right?
Crossbows are always quiet. That's
And
why
no
he's picking
light.
that one.
Unless you use the explosive tipped Arrows.
Yeah. Don't use the explosive to arrows because it'll be quiet until the guy's insides become his outsides, and everyone will know.
So yes, Craven, they would have that ordered for you at the Zerka store. Have that.
So we were gonna plant like a distress beacon in that guy, right?
Ooh, you want that rejig to be inside of him?
I think it's a good idea. How big is it?
It's pretty big for what you want to do with it. It's like the size of a data pad.
Oh,
But also, it broadcasts across all common search and rescue comm frequencies. And it probably has a very large power supply. I think it's a long range, like on a planetary scale, transmitter.
right. We could use it for parts. Start with that, and then work your way through what you want.
Yeah. Does everyone have a stealth weapon or something that suits their needs? Is anyone out there hanging, saying I still need something?
I think I'm probably gonna take that crossbow like it was thrown out over here. I like that. I don't know if they have another one of those.
Yeah, well, you can get another one. Crossbow's not a difficult of brilliant crossbow.
So yeah, we'll take one of those.
It's the Wookiee. It's going to be like a toy.
Yeah. Can I even fit my finger through the finger hole?
That's
I
a-
cut the
Uh,
clutch.
And
I have to imagine that like they filed the finger guard off.
It's
on
like
yours.
a grown-ass man holding a Nerf gun.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It looks like the stealth palm shooter to you.
Right. I feel like I can break this damn thing.
Because you can.
You're gonna end up throwing that at somebody instead of using it.
Yeah.
Do you?
I'm gonna wrap the bow wire around someone's neck.
Did you guys find the? I heard you talk about explosive bolts. Did you guys find the listing of all the different bolts it takes?
Yeah, I took that card.
Okay.
Can you copy it?
Yeah, I can find it. It's a good reference thing to have. It also has the prices, I think, on it.
Yeah, I put my inventory for arrows that I purchased on it.
yeah, I need a copy of that too, I guess.
Raven, can I grab
one's
that?
over here?
Can't see nothing on your
See it.
thingy.
There you go. All right, I've made a copy of it. I'm deleting his inventory out of it. There you go. How many copies does we need? 2?
Yeah, I need one.
Yep, just one here.
Remember that those stats are in place of, not in addition to.
Right.
I bought some detonator rounds because why not?
Because they're fun. Remember that those are a special type of ammunition, so you have to keep track of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say how many do I get?
So you need the detonator reload card. Okay. Oh, it just says it straight converts it. I tell you what, take a spare magazine and consider it a reload action to switch between the two. If you roll a despair or something, I'll have you run out of rounds. And you'll have to replace the spare magazine, but not necessarily the detonator round card, as there is a significant price difference.
Hey, do you have a card for the Vornsker Hound? I have the figure, but I don't have a card for it. You may not have one. I just figured I'd ask.
I don't have one readily available, but I might have one. Can add it to the list of things that I can look into for you. He's not like he's not like a super powerful creature.
No, I was putting him over here with my small farm
Yes,
of animals.
you all are gonna need a fence.
Or, we do it like I do my aquarium, and sometimes it's there for me to see, and sometimes it's a snack for the other ones. It's the circle of life, man.
All right. So everyone's sorted.
It looks like the mono something edge is a rarity 5, so I can't just get that one. But the augmented blade one is a rarity 4, so I can get that one done.
Yes.
All right, and now order the other one.
Usually
Is that how that
they take time. So anything you want to order from the vendor, just put into chat. Try to remember to send me the page numbers of the book so I can go make sure it's actually something that would be available and relevant.
Yeah.
Usually in the generator it tells you what book and page.
Yeah, I know. I just didn't know that's what you wanted the first time. All right, so we go here.
So Distress Beacon and Palm Shooter are sitting out here. What should I do with these?
We're parting the distress beacon to go inside of Dane.
That's going to Othengard.
That's a bacon.
And the Palm Shooter?
I think that's going back in. That was
Yeah, I pulled it out just to be if you
Solid.
want it.
not as cool as a Corellian crossbow or throwing daggers.
I put it away.
Excellent. Okay, so we're good to go?
Yep.
Alright, so you guys were just... here where this flag is. Where in relation to that is this impound lot?
It would be on a taller building, probably somewhere in here.
Okay. We have these little gaps where I have to, because we're flying blind tonight, so I'm making it up as I go. You guys feel free to chat as I,
I'll be back. I need to use the restroom.
yeah. Make sure you mute your stream.
So this the place we're going, does it have a building beside it that I can post up on? Or is it just one building?
You're asking the GM, there would certainly be other buildings around it, but I will leave it up to Ghost to decide whether or not it's the tallest building in there.
It would be really cool to have just one neighboring like office tower next to it that's just a little bit higher. That way we could zip line across. So it'd be like less security. We wouldn't have to climb the Imperial Tower. We just go up the office tower.
For the record, this impound lot, even though it's on the ceiling and the Imperials control it, the tower itself probably is just a civilian structure. They've just taken over like the top floor on the roof for these purposes. So that is 100% something you can do.
That sounds like what's the zip line?
I like the zipline idea, but it's dangerous.
That's why you like it.
That's why I like it, yeah. I don't know. I was just adding higher stakes. We can also just go up the elevator.
Why you got so many crossbows?
You're gonna have that scene from the Matrix where like they shoot the shit out of the lobby, and then there's that really quiet elevator scene.
Right.
All right. Place. Not everything. Adjacent buildings, because
I'll be right back.
be right back. They're all falling in the. There's so many Giza in there, they can't quite squeeze each other in. Okay. So this guy.
It's a good looking building.
Yep. Wanted a adjacent building.
Yeah. What are the green towers?
They're just other buildings that are lower than. They're for decoration.
Gotcha.
That's what you hit, and when you fall off that zip line.
I was hoping they weren't like anti-aircraft batteries. Just making sure.
The whole point of this is that it's very ad hoc. I'm not saying there won't be any type of defense tournament. Well, it won't be anything that well thought out.
They link perfectly together. Force fields.
Don't yet. Okay, that takes station. Vermont's up here. Everybody back?
I'm here.
Yeah, I'm here.
Same.
Alright, I realize this is going to look nice, but I need something to represent the guard shack. Alright. Successful live. Alright. Things that you can see. Things that you can kind of like spot. Will be kind of what's on the basic table here. Now, you guys had a plan of attack that was either climb or go up elevator. Is that the two areas you were looking at?
Yep.
No dropping in from above, which is convenient because you would have had to do that.
Yeah, I was thinking like a really cool zip line between the tall building and the other building, but that's way too dangerous. We can just go up the side of the building. I can climb it.
I
Right.
was also thinking the zip line, so
The zip line would be fun.
It absolutely would be. Not opposed to you trying that.
Tie a shit ton of synth rope to a bowcaster or the bow crossbow bolt. Shoot it across that way.
That is something you could do if you guys want to fabricate something. You have a workbench you can work with.
So you want to make making a grapple?
So I've got this net launcher thing that I made a while back.
Uh-huh.
We could modify it to just shoot like a pole with a bunch of rope attached to it.
like a
Okay.
harpoon.
Yeah.
What's the range on that thing?
The net gun, I think it was medium.
Medium's going to be good enough. Now, you are actually outside of medium range, but you're also not trying to hit a person. You can totally like arc it and try to,
Yeah,
make it work.
we'll try it.
So, first off, you have to get to the top of this building. What's the plan to get to the top of building A?
Oh, we'll just go up in the elevator.
What is the build? What? Wait. What is building A?
Okay, so building A is a series of office buildings. Most of these office buildings seem to be dedicated to the various legalities of importing and exporting materials from the planet. It is... Are you going during the day or at night? That's an important question.
We should scope it
night.
during the day and go during the night.
Okay. Well, during the day, there's a lot of hustle and bustle. There's a lot of people coming in and out, a lot of respectable, well-dressed people. At night, there's a single, rent-a-cop guard and 2 security droids in the lobby, and that's pretty much all you can see. Most of the floors do appear to be accessible via elevator. Getting to the roof, you're not sure if that's a thing that's going to be quite as easy. Generally, elevators don't go straight to the roof.
Right.
Right. So the there's a guard in the lobby, right?
And 2 droids.
And 2 droids. So what we should probably do is climb up to the climb up to the second floor, break in there, and then go up as high as we can in the elevator.
Yeah.
Certainly a
We can
plan.
also come in during the day and just like hang out, hiding inside the building until nightfall and just go up.
Oh yeah,
Um,
go up to the roof and hide in the electrical mechanical room.
yeah.
No one ever checks those things anyway, so that's probably safe.
It's just more time.
Just because we also have to do this quickly.
Yeah, we gotta get it done.
Well, all right. Let me say how. When you come into the lobby, what are you dressed as?
Barkeep.
Is there like a generic maintenance guy outfit?
Overalls.
Yeah, absolutely. There totally is. There is the equivalent of the mechanics blue overalls. Wookiees won't wear them, but your supposed species of Trandoshan would.
Yeah, I mean, obviously my arms don't fit in them, but I still wear them like a like overalls.
So
And
you
with our hard hats on.
you got to come into the front desk and you got to sign in, and you can try to either use electronics to slice your way in, or you can try to bluff your way past the guard.
So so I've seen this. I've seen a lot of TV shows, Frankie. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get a ladder, and I'm gonna carry that. Just a little 6-foot ladder. I'm gonna carry that, and you're gonna have a clipboard and a pen, right? And then we're doing what is it? The climate control maintenance.
There is a person in the party who actually specializes in this particular kind.
I mean, I can talk.
I didn't know Argon
I
could do that.
I was talking to him. He's a smuggler. That's what you guys are basically doing.
Fine. I give the clipboard to Argon. I kiss my ass goodbye, and I hand a second ladder and hard hat to Crikey. And I say, whatever you do, don't talk.
I'm carrying a bunch of bags, just kind of looking at the big guys holding ladders.
And of course, we're doing this during the day. I thought we were we're scoping during the day, and of course, doing it at
How do you
night.
think we're gonna scope it? Like, what do you think we're gonna just wander around in barbarian gear?
Valid point. So I think Argon missed the plan. Shame on you.
I thought you said that he knew what he was doing. I'm feeling a lot less safe right now.
He's supposed to.
No, I get the idea. We're actually going to go in during the day. We're going to dress up as maintenance personnel. We're going to be, walking around the building with a ladder and a clipboard and going and checking out the place, and of course, stashing items that we may or may not need.
Yeah. So what we're doing right now is we're walking in through the front door, and you are going to go talk to the guard.
You listening to the game, buddy?
He's here.
No, I am.
He's ready.
That's right. So you walk in, you got the clipboard, your data pad, really, because that's what they use. And you need to either bluff your way through here, or you need to use some sort of skullduggery or streetwise or other method to get past this guard. As a smuggler, this is something you would have done on a very regular basis. I mean, getting past a rent-a-cop is kind of a prerequisite to your job.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. So the goal is, again, to find out the details of the building, kind of walk around. Again, for idea of actually...
No. The goal right now is to talk your way past this guard. That's all you have to do. Hi, my name is Carl. I'm the guard. Go.
Oh, so we're beyond beyond the planning phase. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, how you doing, Carl? My name's Argon. How are you today?
Your real name?
I'm great, Argon. How you doing? What are you guys here for?
We got some general maintenance that's actually going on in the building that we're actually required to come in and actually do an assessment, making sure that there's actually these systems are actually working correctly. Basically, the fire suppression systems for the building.
Okay, fire suppression. I'm not seeing that on the docket today. And now you get to make your decision on what approach you would like to use from your skill list. Would
It was just it was actually a last minute order that came through. We were told to take care of it today, and it was last minute. I guess they're doing some kind of huge review tomorrow, and they want to make sure everything's up to spec for that review.
that is awesome. Roll a 1 purple deception check.
Can I help him?
Yes.
I want to help him with I'm going to look really frustrated carrying all this shit around and not want to, like, pick it back up and take it back out.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah.
here to do this job now.
So
growly and grumbly.
That-
Right.
that is a boost for you. So you do your deception check, and then you add a blue die.
Sterling fucking construction, guys.
I'd like to look at Crikey, and I'd like to say, probably should have taken care of this part before we carried all the heavy shit in.
Or whatever Wookiees say, because I'm not using the transliterator.
So deception, 1 purple and 1 boost.
Yep. Almost triumphed. All right, so he's like, yeah. You said you're working on the fire suppression system. The tanks are actually on the roof. The Imperials up there are less than easy to talk to. Here's some passes that'll get you through the maintenance access for the roof.
Hey, that's great. That's great. Now, some of the tests we might be doing may be hazardous to some people. I know we're bringing some extra gear with us for that. We may need to actually have the Imperials actually step aside for a moment. Do you know how many are up there?
No, and I wouldn't suggest trying to tell them to step aside. If you have to do something that's going to be hazardous to them, they're going to tell you to leave.
Okay, copy about that. So at least these passes will get us up there so we can actually do our tests then.
Okay.
Excellent. That sounds like a great idea. Now, if we need anything else, I'm assuming we can come down to talk to you and get more access if we need it, right?
Yeah, sounds fantastic. You guys have a good one. He's super bored and he's trying to get on with his job.
Great, thanks a lot.
See, that's how you do it. Now you guys get to take the elevator to the roof, and he told you important information.
Probably should have said something like, hey, if an alarm goes off, it's just during the test of the fire suppression system. Don't worry about it, it's a false alarm.
Oh, do you guys actually plan on doing some work? I plan on going up there and just hitting it with a wrench a few times and acting like I know what I'm doing.
By it, you mean the Imperials on the roof, right?
Oh, no, I don't plan on hitting Imperials with it, no. But I mean, the suppression system that's on the roof. I
No,
plan
what
on
he's
just
saying-
taking a look at it.
What he's saying is an alarm may get tripped.
Yeah,
Not because we're doing work, because we're fucking breaking into this place.
we're killing some
TIE fighters,
Imperials.
the other fucking building.
So yeah, there are...
Preface
there are-
that in advance and say something like, "Hey, if an alarm gets tripped, don't sweat it. We're doing testing." You see, that's
You guys are having this conversation in the elevator on the way up.
a lot. And, by the way, he said there's Imperials on top of this building. We still have to get across to the other building where we know more Imperials are. So, be on the lookout as we come out of this elevator. Try to find those Imperials so we can figure out what we're going to do with those. They can't be here when we shooting our harpoon across, you know?
Like I said, he gave up valuable information. Did you roll to advantage?
So, there's nice jizz on the elevator, musically.
That's right. It's smooth jizz.
Smooth jizz. We get up to the top, it dings, and then we've got to go up, a flight of stairs to get to the actual roof.
Yep, there's like an access panel for the roof with a little short ladder. It's actually open, even though he gave you maintenance passes to open it. The two Imperial scout troopers who you can hear chatting back and forth, they left the hatch open. They've blatantly been like coming in and out of there on a regular basis.
They're smoking cigarettes up there.
Pretty much, yeah. They're hitting death sticks and then complaining because they never are allowed to shoot anyone. And that since they're on the day shift, because you guys came up during the day, they're like, the night shift is where it's at, because then you can like look over at the apartment buildings, and I mean, there's some freaky shit that goes on in this town.
You just go and look around. Oh my god. These pervs. Alright, hey, I nudge Argon, and I'm like, you're the boss, right? For this maintenance crew? Maybe you should go over and talk to him and tell him, we're up to service this thing.
Sounds good. Let me run over and talk to them. You guys go and start getting some things set up, and I will have a discussion with these guys. Let them know what's going on.
Perfect.
Hey guys, how you doing? Looks like you guys are having a good day over here doing the stormtrooper stuff.
Oh shit! Okay. Oh wow. Maintenance people. You can't be up here.
Yeah, well, see, I got this pass here. We're actually doing running some tests on the fire suppression system for the building in preparation for some work that's actually happening, some review stuff that's happening tomorrow. It's all last minute, but again, we were basically approved to be up here, and I wanted to make sure that you knew what we were doing and who we were.
And the one guy's like, "You can't be up here." The other guy's like, "Dude, just no, I gotta work, man." And the other guy, like, they talk back and forth a little bit, like they're arguing like a married couple, but then they're like, "All right, well, whatever, do what you got to do and get out of here." And then they go back to working, but now they're trying to look professional. They're not succeeding, but they're trying.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. We'll be out of your hair in a bit. All right, thanks. Head back over to the rest of the group where they are actually setting up equipment and getting some things ready. Meanwhile, all of us are actually just scoping out the arrangement on top of the building here, looking at the distances, looking at heights, and writing down plans.
Yeah, now that we're up here, can I shoot my harpoon? Not that I want to right this second, but how crazy would it be to shoot from up here and hit like this radio tower and get it tangled up in that?
That's a much more difficult shot than just hitting the building, but it's probably doable.
Are you good on distance as far as using the harpoon as far as distance between the two buildings?
Yeah, I'm hoping that too.
That was discussed.
Yes,
So
we did talk about it.
Yep.
What kind of roll would this be?
So you want to shoot this harpoon right now?
No, I'm asking what kind of roll it would be so that I can start thinking.
He's
maybe
doing the
outside
math.
the box.
Oh, okay.
So I can help myself do
So
this.
I'm thinking this is more like artillery than regular shooting, so I'm going to count it as a gunnery check. Also, hitting the comm tower is probably going to increase the difficulty.
Yeah. I was just trying to get elevation. That's why I was asking about the radio tower.
Yeah.
Here's the next bit. Shooting this thing across, we got synth rope that goes across, right?
Yep.
Then we need some sort of pulley that we can zip line with.
Oh, I guess it's lucky you guys brought a bunch of tools and shit with you.
Yeah.
So that's what's in the duffel bags.
I mean, we could just use a stormtrooper as a pulley. You just toss him over, grab a leg, grab an arm, and slide.
Yeah, if you put both arms on either side of the barrel of his, stolen weapon, or just use the leg bone. I was thinking about just getting these guys to fly off the edge of the roof. Oh shit! I did not mean to throw him like that.
That was a really good throw.
I didn't.
That bitch is gone.
Glitched.
That sounds like one of them smoked a little too much and fell off the roof.
Well, I mean, accidents happen.
Yeah, but they say they're the day shift. There's a night shift, so we have to wait until the night shift comes up.
That's true too.
Don't you have like a pair of claws you could sneak up and just put them to sleep for a while?
I do, yeah. I can get one.
Just snap the neck of the other one.
Pull its head off.
The Wookiee doesn't like Imperials. I like this.
I was just thinking of this as Sparta and kicking them off the edge. Maybe I can get both of them in one kick.
I was looking to not leave a lot of evidence,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
tomato, I guess.
Tomatoes splat on the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. played Assassin's Creed. It's called A Leap of Faith. I mean, the other options too is that we pretend like we're working until the night shift guy comes up, or guys. We already know a little bit about them, that they're pervy, and we might be able to use that against them.
So-
just options.
So I have a couple ideas. One of the things we need to do is we need to set the alarm off, the fire alarm off a couple times, because what that does is that drives people to a unstable emotional level like you would not believe. Especially if you're doing drugs, that seems like that would just make it worse. But you want to do it like you don't want to have it constantly. You want to have it intermittently, constantly going off.
Do you think we could trigger the alarm on this building enough that somebody wouldn't respond to an alarm on the other building?
So what you want to do is you want to bypass the communication where it goes out, right? You just want the internal notifier in the building going off, and maybe not the whole building.
This is going to end up being a computer/mechanics check.
Yeah, I hear everything. I've hit the alarm at least once and turned it off again real quick.
Okay, so the first thing you have to do, because you're not actually maintenance people, is hack that panel.
What do you mean we're not maintenance people? We got overalls. We got
It
overalls.
says so on my driver's license.
He gave us a
it does.
badge.
Got a
Now, we
badge.
plan on working throughout the night, because I mean, just staying up here all the time, working throughout the night, wait until the night crew shows up. I mean,
Yeah, Argon is the guy who signed us
Just
in.
mention that.
Is that 2 purple? I've got physical access to the actual thing I'm trying to hack.
So do you have slicing computer equipment? Does anyone have actual slicing gear?
It's in the duffel.
I've got an ultra pocket valet.
If that yes, it's in the duffel is a flip to destiny token, then yes, it's in the it's in the duffel.
It's in the duffel. I flipped
Oh
it.
yeah.
That's what they're there for.
Okay, that is 100% what they're there for.
I flip over the Ultra Valley delay, the data pad, and it's got like Kali Linux on it, and I go, "Oh my goodness, this is what I've been looking for the whole time." I've never actually had slicing gear.
I also have my Versa function. That one that I got for a Triumph.
It doesn't count as slicing gear, but it's still pretty good.
And I've got this data spike.
Data spikes are also good. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need to gain access to the system. This is... It's not a military hub or base. It's more like a common computer. More like a cantina or a data pad. It's going to be an easy 1 purple check. It's got 2 blacks for security programs. Unless you want to use your spike to clear those.
I don't have the spike.
It's on your sheet.
Oh, I was looking at the rolly thing. Yeah, I put all the things in. I feel like a real slicer.
You are. We're going through the process.
You're like, we don't even need that guy Kyle. You know, like
Come
we
on.
can do this.
You guys see this equipment? Look, it says right here, access the system. It's pretty successful.
4 success, 1 threat. That is pretty successful. You have access to the system. Let's call your threat evidence of presence. You
Been here. We signed in.
Yeah, like you guys log in, and basically you can see that the log, like the cybersecurity log for this thing, logs that you've broken in, but they haven't taken the time to connect the fire control panel to anything that goes outside of this room. So it knows you did it, but they're going to have to take the panel apart to figure it out.
Login name. Argon, the maintenance guy.
Yeah, I still can't believe you gave him your real name. Why the smuggler gives his real name to the marks?
I mean, guys, I ain't trying to tell Argon's story, but I feel like he may not have been the galaxy's best smuggler.
We the party are figuring that out.
He wants to be. He's learning.
He's figuring it out.
I'd like to remove those security systems.
Okay. That just happens because you spin a spike.
I'd like to. So now I'm going to do an action of. So I have access to like the fire alarms now, right?
Yes, you have access to everything related to the fire suppression system and fire alarms. And you said you wanted to turn them on and off. That sounds like enact command to me.
Yep.
It's a 1 purple check. Alright, you now have the ability to, at your leisure, turn on and off the fire alarm. As many times as you want.
Do you want to call down to the guy? I'm about to flip the fire alarm.
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to call down and tell him you're gonna test his floor first, right? And then you want to try to do it. I use quotation marks a couple times and tell him is it working? And if he said he's gonna say no because we didn't hit the button. You want to do that a couple times so it clearly shows there's something wrong and we're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah, call him up, Argon.
Sounds good. Let me give him a ring here. So give him a ring.
His name was Carl.
His name was Carl.
Hey, Argon, it's Carl. What's up?
Hey, Carl. Hey, just want to let you know we're again running some tests over here. We're gonna have some of the alarms actually going on and off throughout the time we're testing. Just wanted to make sure you're aware that the system is going to be doing that. There's no real fire or alarm or emergency, but just wanted to make sure you're aware of what's happening. Also, this test is going to be running for a little longer than what we had planned, but we'll keep you up to date as far as the length of time and our duration.
Hey, is it going off? Ask him if it's going off.
Hey, do you think it's going off down there right now?
No, it's not going off. Give me a 1 purple deception check.
And we'll have to test each floor one at a time.
Is my mic working?
Yes, it is.
I'm just checking because I feel like I'm not being heard.
I didn't hear you say anything up until is my mic working? And now I don't hear anything either.
I'm still here.
Okay.
I had said what we were gonna do and then we didn't do any of it.
Oh, that was on purpose.
Sure it was.
Alright, so what are he's rolling? Oh, 0-2.
Yeah. So he's like, hey, you weren't supposed, like, there was no all hands email. You guys are supposed to be, and at that point, I'm imagining Kizik hits the button and the actual alarm goes off.
Yep. That's what Craven said.
Oh, crap. I've got to go tell people that the alarm's going off, and he starts running away from there. But
The alarm's going off. Isn't that the alarm's job?
sorry, that it's a false alarm.
Oh, that it's a false alarm. Okay.
Yeah. That was GM screw up.
I'm trying to follow.
Well, I also have to, leave the impression that you have to understand that, like, he knows it's not on the schedule. And he is dealing with the emergency problem, but you did fail that deception check. Alright, so you guys are putting the alarms on and off. You've created the font of this. The guard is definitely suspicious. So how long do you guys keep this up? You guys keep turning on and off the alarms until nightfall?
We focus it on the floor right below us, where whenever the guards go down there, we make sure they hear it. The idea is to keep them off their game.
I mean, the guards on the roof can't hear it because they're on the roof. I guess when they go through their
I don't know
little,
if you've ever messed with the alarm system. These things are obnoxiously loud.
they go off randomly in the building I'm in all the time. They are obnoxiously loud. They almost give me a heart. There's one right above my cube.
Nice. That's
yeah.
gotta be awesome.
I've jumped out of my chair a few times. Anyway, but what ends up happening, because I'm trying to like move along to the important part of this, is because the guard downstairs wasn't like super sold on your deception, when he gets his relief and when the two new stormtroopers are supposed to relieve these guys come in, he comes up here with them. And he wants to see some identification.
Oh, he's gonna die.
So
We are getting a move on it.
Dark now, right?
it's well, you know, the sun is setting. He comes up the ladder. You guys are in the maintenance area right below the right between the very top roof and the internal ceiling. So it's a pretty industrial, clamped place. Who's going to be the face of the group? I'm assuming it's going to be Argon.
Sure, that's fine.
Okay, let's get your token in place. Get all your tokens in place.
So this is actually a new guard then, right? Like you said, everybody's changing of the guard happened.
No,
The new security guy as well, right?
no, that's not what I said. What I said was you didn't sell Carl on your deception check. So when the guard shift came and he could leave his post, he came with the two replacement stormtroopers for the shift to basically demand your credentials and say, "Who are you?" Because I don't think you are who you say you are.
Oh, Carl.
Also, I put your guys' tokens over here and they're gone. I don't know what happened. Ah, someone.
So while they're
No, that's one token. That doesn't help.
So while they're talking, Kizik and I are staring over the screen for the alarms, and I'm gonna ask him: is three and four working? Can you get floor 3 and 4 to work? And pretty much every time Carl or the guards try to talk, we're gonna intermittently blast that obnoxious sound. Not on floor 3 and 4, but we're trying to do 3 and 4.
Is there fire suppression in our little area?
There has to be.
And is that controlled by the same system that I'm looking in right now?
It is.
Just asking for a friend.
I don't know what happened to y'all's tokens. I put them out here. They appear to have just disappeared. But we need tokens because, you know, we have to do things and you guys have to be on the map.
Tabletop ate them.
You can't spawn them, though. That's the bad thing.
It could have been that tabletop ate them. That is the thing that happens. But it shouldn't have happened.
I was drawing. I didn't play with them.
I put them right here. Where the hell could they have possibly gone? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to put some tokens out. We got to have them, so we got to stop for a second.
Matt probably put them in a cane and fired them across the building. That's why he's trying to claim that he's drawing. And in 2 weeks, he might admit that he did it.
Yeah. That's valid.
All right. Okay.
Ah, crap. I need to lock you guys down in a corner so that I have a copy like I did in the other campaign.
It is a good plan.
Because it is like stupidly hard to go back and get you guys.
So, Argon, the reason that you're the face here is that everybody's insanely racist and they wouldn't listen to us anyway. So it's like hard mode. And we can growl and fight and, kill them and everything. But we want to give you a chance here to talk it out.
Well, the way I see it, you guys are actually busy. You're in there bouncing around, pulling wires, making things happen. I'm just doing the supervisory thing, so I'm the one that actually sees them coming up. So, of course, first contact would be me for that reason.
All right. R with his cape on. Oh shit. That wasn't awkward.
All right, Victor, Paul, Carl.
I multiplied for a minute.
Sure did. Okay, so I think that's everybody. All right. So, yep, Carl, Paul, Victor. They have names now. Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
This is day shift.
Yeah, this is day shift.
Smoker and Joker.
Toker. You want smoker and toker.
Toker, got it. He's the Toker smoker. Okay, cool, got it.
So, Carl comes up and he's like, "I want to see some ID for you guys. I want to run your chain code." And he's got the little thing out for scanning your chain code. Because he's like, "You're not who you say you are."
Hey, Carl, how you doing? Oh, gosh, let me see if I can find my chain code. Let me look in my bag over here. Give me 1 second. I start rummaging around through my bag, looking around everywhere, frantically looking around through my pockets, everything like that. And hey, Carl, you're not going to believe this. Damn it! I totally I must have left it down in the cruiser downstairs. Is there? I can go down and get it, but I just don't want to interrupt the work that my fellows are doing here.
I snap Victor's neck.
Give me a stealth check to see if you get back there without being stopped. You are a massive Wookiee, so it's going to be a little difficult. It's going to be 1 red, 2 purples.
I'm also bluffing like I'm working so that I can get behind him.
Take 2 boosts, 1 for that, and the other for being that you can move in ways they may not necessarily understand. I.e., you can crawl on the ceiling.
Right.
I'm also blaring the
Alarms.
every time somebody
Yep.
every time somebody talks. So
Take-
what you want to do.
Take
you wanna
3
do is
boosts.
As soon as someone talks, you make the sound, so their ears are on that one noise, and then you hit them with the much more obnoxious noise, and it really hurts.
You said it was a stealth check, right?
Yes, your first check is a stealth check.
Okay.
Your second check will be the snapping neck check.
What?
Turns out you are, in fact, a giant Wookiee. So, how do you want to spend your 5 advantage, or do you want me to do it for you?
Well, then, I basically, what I'm imagining is that I've tried to stealth behind him, but I am a giant Wookiee. He feels threatened, and he's going to keep eye contact with me. I'm going to use my 5 advantage to just be like, well, then I'm not going to snap his neck, but somebody else does. And they get the boost for it.
Okay. That turns out to be, well, it depends on who's going to, so Gar and Hookruz are sabotaging the system. Argon's talking to the guy. Who's going to be the person that does snap their neck if you do it that way?
Gotcha.
Argon's ruffling through his bags.
So I would have had it done that basically the same thing, except for instead of you sneaking up behind him, you back him into a corner. Okay.
Contact. He's back
You-
into a corner.
Back him into the corner. You have failed your stealth check 100%.
Yeah.
However,
His head to adjust something and then just pull his head off.
I was about to say that doesn't mean you can't try to snap his neck, but it will be opposed.
Let me think about this for a second.
I implement the fire suppression system. Fogs everywhere.
Give me a 1 purple because that's a new enact. Computers check.
When he does that, I would like to say, I would like to start doing the technician. Fuck.
High or low, Kizik?
Low.
The gas that is being implemented, and you have just enough advantage to recognize this, is toxic to organics.
Oh no.
It displaces oxygen.
Can that? I'm gonna say we gotta get out of here. And can we?
So I'm saying you find that out before you hit the button. If you want to choose to still hit the button, that's fine. But you will definitely not have time to say all of that before shit starts happening. So it's your choice. Do you hit the button? Don't you hit the button? That's really the only thing I'm looking for.
I hit the button.
Okay. Toxic gas begins flooding the area you're in. In that moment, the guards are going to start shooting.
Alright, well, I'm going to do my brawl then.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty to hit this guy?
This guy is
Using it?
he's opposing it, but he's still a stormtrooper, so he don't have brawl as a skill. So I think it's 2 purples. Imperial stormtrooper. Sorry, it's 3. No, it's 2 purples because it's a standard. He doesn't get to oppose it that way. Yeah, you get an easy check.
Come on, Triumph. Damn it.
Oh, you were robbed.
I almost got it. It's alright. I do beat him
Okay.
with his own arm.
How much damage is it?
That's a good question. I have 2 ranks in it, and I just rolled 1 success. What's the flat for brawl? It's 3?
So it's your strength.
Oh, strength. Okay.
Yeah, it's your brawn
Brawn. Yeah.
plus your successes. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
3
So, 4 total.
or total. It's not quite enough to get the job done. But yeah, I mean, you're still an intimidating Wookiee pushing him back into a corner, and you rolled a shit ton of advantage on the first one, and you got an advantage on this one. So he's not going to shoot you. Also, he's carrying a really long sniper rifle, as all the guards of this roof are, which makes sense until they're in close quarters combat with angry people while poisonous gas floods the room. Can I get initiatives from everyone?
Yeah, we're cool.
You guys are cool. That is, in fact, true. I feel like we need.
Wow.
I got 1-3.
You got a 0-4.
Bad guys are vigilance.
Oh, somebody's doing the note.
Which is not their forte. Vigilance is. Okay. Okay, the 3-0 is the stormtrooper group on the stairs. And the 2-2 is the stormtrooper group on the roof. And I'm not counting Carl because poisonous gas just flooded the place and he's a rent-a-cop, so he's going to go down. Everyone who is organic and breathing is going to take at least one round worth of gas. Because there was no warning that this was happening.
Alright.
Dane didn't roll.
Dane didn't roll anything because Dane's not here.
Argon didn't roll.
Argon didn't roll. Why did Argon not roll?
No, I didn't. So what is for the initiatives? What is everybody rolling the same thing?
You roll.
It's all cool.
You roll your cool check, and you roll it unopposed.
Gotcha.
All right, 3-2 is pretty good. Alrighty. That means we got 2 player slots, ostensibly Argon and Gar. Go first. and then the first set of stormtroopers are going to go.
All right. You got the first one, Argo.
Yep, gotcha.
So you also have abilities that make this a little bit better. We've talked about you've got your quick draw and your quick strike. So you can draw as an incidental your weapon, and your quick strike gives you a bonus dice to against anyone who hasn't acted yet during this encounter, which right now is all of the bad guys.
All right. We're gonna go off here since our rent-a-cop is actually ditched out of the place, right? He's taken off because of the gas.
Well, he's not leaving. He's dying. He's coughing up like stuff right now, hacking. He's probably down on his knees. The stormtroopers seem to be immune to the gas.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're gonna take a shot at Paul over here. We're gonna take a duck behind our comm tower and going to take a shot at Paul here.
So you're gonna move for your maneuver behind the comm tower, and then you're gonna.
Actually, we've got cover of gas, don't we?
You're actually in the utility area in this room. But if you want to move physically behind some equipment, that's absolutely a maneuver you can make.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so in a closed area with poisonous gas.
You are also. We're going to get to that in a moment. So, you will be hacking and coughing. Go ahead and roll a resilient. Actually, we can resolve it up front. Everybody's going to have to do this, so if you want to go ahead and do it before your turn, you can. You want to roll a 2 purple resilience check, and if you pass it, you do not suffer the ill effects of the gas. If you have a gas mask to put on, you may want to do that as well. Otherwise, this will be ongoing. You didn't put your skill in. That's not your resilience check. Your resilience check is two greens. This is to see if you cough on the gas and get whether or not you suffer the setbacks, basically. That's why I haven't told you. That's why I haven't told you how hard it is to shoot yet. Okay. So, Aragon, for your attack, you're going to be at 1 purple, and you're going to be at 3 blacks. You are also going to take, through soak, 1 point of damage every round that you don't have a gas mask on.
He's got like 3 blues he's not using.
He's got at least 1. How does he have 3? He can't.
That's right.
He's got a different weapon. Sorry, I'm looking at it wrong.
You've got 1 more blue, so I will take care of it. Unless you can, so you get 1 because you have quick strike. But if you have another one, let me know. Comes out to a success, which is all you needed. What type of bow? I should have asked that at a time. Did you buy special arrows, or did you just use what comes with it?
I just used what came with it.
Okay. So it's limited ammo 3, so every 3 times you shoot, you have to reload it. So, that's your first one. That's 6 damage. It's not pierce or anything. Okay, so you nail around. You also roll 2 advantages. You'd used 1 maneuver already, but you can take 2 strain and use another maneuver and pull out your breath mask and put it on, assuming that you have one. Which at this point, I think everyone does have one, right? We've talked about this a couple times.
Yep, we do.
Okay. So if you want to spin that 2 strain, you can tick your blue things up. All your blues all your tickers should have been at 0 at the beginning of this. I've noticed that they're not. They all should have been at 0 when we started. So go ahead and clear those out first. Okay. Tick 1 for your damage that you took for not having a gas mask the first round. Now you have 1 on, so tick 2 blues. So you're increasing your strain to take an extra maneuver. There you go. Okay. Now, a crossbow bolt goes off, shot from the hip. Which one were you shooting at? You said you're shooting at Paul?
Yeah, Paul.
Paul takes an arrow to the knee.
Used to be a stormtrooper like you.
That's right. He's not going to get to tell that story, I don't think, though. Gar.
Gas mask. I was successful in my gas check.
Excellent.
And then I'm going to pull the my spear out of the duffel and stab. I'm gonna stab Paul.
So I had Victor and you in a corner. And Paul up here. You moved him around, I don't know why. But I had him roughly where they were.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
I was imagining a tiny room with all the gas in it now.
Yeah, I get it. Alright, so you're going to stab poor Paul. Paul's got an arrow in his knee. He's very preoccupied with the arrow in his knee. I can't be a stormtrooper anymore! And then what happens?
And then I put a vibro glaive through his chest.
Okay.
Difficulty to stab him?
Stormtroopers, by default, are 2 purples. Actually, all people by default are 2 purples. But occasionally, they are special.
Make sure I didn't miss any details. I don't think I did.
So far, only silenced weapons have been used.
So that is 2, 4, 9, plus my brawn, right?
It's a melee attack.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's brawn plus weapon damage plus strength. So yeah, brawn plus weapon damage plus successes. That's the word I'm looking for.
So 2, 4, 9, 12. 12 damage, pierce 3.
Oh, that's a lot.
I would love to put it through him and his buddy, but I didn't see if I could line them up that way.
Not currently. So you definitely go right through this guy's torso. In one side, out the other. He's kebabbed and dead. If you would like, you can get Carl in the run, if that'll make you feel better. Carl wasn't going to be a combatant, but you can kebab those 2 together.
Just put them together. Look over at Crikey, and I'm like, why is his head still on his shoulders? What are you doing over there?
And that's going to be his cue to pull out his vibroblade because his rifle's way too long to do this. And he's going to try to stab you with his vibro knife. He has a standard vibro knife.
Me or Crikey?
Crikey. I guess Crikey's the one who's like got it backed into a corner. And do you have any special melee defense, Crikey?
No.
Okay. Oh. Oh, he almost despaired. You were so robbed. So robbed. But he does fail. So he basically is like scrabbling, and he does manage to draw his vibro knife. But he does not manage to actually stab you with it. The 2 are on the roof. Hold on a second, because they're stoned.
Are gonna go up.
So it's got to be high, right? Because they're high.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're like, "Hey, man, can you turn the alarm off, man?" Yeah, what the fuck? And that's all they're gonna get for the time being. Because you guys have only used silenced weapons. They're not that observant. And they're stoned as fuck. Crikey.
You said it was Victor that pulled the knife?
Yeah, Victor pulled the knife.
Alright, so he pulls out the knife, and then I pull out the machete, and I say, "That's not a knife." I stab him with the vibro machete. It's Pierce 1, Sunder, Vicious 1.
Oh my god. Yeah, go ahead and do it. He's 2 purples. It's a melee check.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
I don't get any boosts.
You should get at least a blue for the poop he's about to put in his pants.
I mean, you can get a boost, but also, did you pass your resilience check?
I did.
Okay, good. I'm gonna give you another inspiration card for that.
I did it.
Excellent. Well, how much damage is that?
It says +2 damage, but I guess for melee, it's the same, right?
It
takes my...
It's +2, so it's brawn +2 plus successes.
Okay.
Also, I believe it's Pierce, isn't it? Or is it?
Yes. It's Pierce 1, Sunder 1, Vicious 1.
Okay. So what's your total?
Hold on. 7. 7, holy shit.
The 7's pretty damn good. That's with or without your Pierce.
That's without my Pierce, so that adds 1?
Yeah, that adds 1, so that's 8. So you almost kill him. I want to say you just stab him through the middle, but he hasn't had the decency to die yet.
Right.
So like he's still gonna get a turn, assuming that Hooks doesn't come over and just turn his head into moosh. Hooks,
Well, he has the chance.
it's your turn, buddy.
I did not pass my resilience check.
Okay, so you're gonna take 1 damage. And any action you attempt to make is gonna have 3 blacks on it.
I've got a sniper rifle, which doesn't help in any way, shape, or form. But he has a knife, and he's getting stabbed, so I'm going to slowly walk on over there, and try to use his knife to stab himself with a big old brawl check.
Oh shit!
Quit stabbing yourself.
This is gonna be an opposed physical check. So it's his brawn versus yours. He has a brawn of 3 versus your brawn. You're basically just gonna grab the knife and push it in. You're gonna try to.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
This is where you stab yourself trying to stab him with his knife. Yep.
Hold on a second. I am gonna let him oppose. I'm gonna let him oppose it. No, that's wrong. Do you have any melee defense?
I do have a melee defense.
Excellent.
If this was a comedy movie, you'd end up stabbing Rocky.
The knife falls to the ground.
Crikey stabbing him, you just come up and stab Crikey.
They're just holding hands right now. Right now, they're literally just holding hands. Not even firmly. Like neither one of them has the strength to actually hold a hand. So they're just like, there's.
What?
You gotta make it. It's that epic scene, right, where I've got him in the belly, like in the gut. He's dying, but then he's got his hands over his head, and he's bringing the knife down, and now Hook's like got his hands backwards onto himself, so like it's a struggle between the two of them.
Yeah, it would be a struggle if either of them had any strength, but they rolled 2 fails each.
The stormtrooper has a knife through his gut, so he kind of has an excuse.
Yeah.
I mean, Hooker's had some gas. He's coughing and choking.
Exactly. And
I'm
he's
glad he
getting
put
the
his
knife out of my back.
I'm glad he said he put his mask on so that he won't have to continue dealing with the fact that he's dying from this gas.
Oh wait, he didn't do that.
I forgot to put the fucking
I put a mask on.
I didn't hear either of you say you did.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna keep dying then.
You are.
And I knew it when I hit the thing. I saw I highlighted it was red. It said poison.
Mhm.
Shoo, fill up the room.
Yep.
Okay, so Argon or Gar, or anyone really, but those are the people listed.
I'd like to put the spear through the poor stormtrooper's head and just end this nightmare.
So Crikey's in the way, so I'm going to give you a setback.
Unless you let me go first, I'm just gonna put my mask on. Get out of the way.
I'm probably not going to do that. I'm just I'm blood rage.
You're gonna steal my kill, man.
Feeling your kill. That's exactly what I'm doing.
What's
I had it
what's
in
new?
the belly.
You didn't finish him off. I kebabbed 2, and you didn't finish him off. Oh,
3.
red 2.
Top 3.
What'd you say?
I said you kebabbed 3.
Kebab 3. Yeah, they're all 3 on the spear still.
All right, these guys are down for the count, and nobody, to my knowledge, used a unsilenced weapon. So, all according to all my stats, you guys are still stealthed.
I'm gonna start putting bodies in this thing called tank.
I'm leaving the room.
Okay,
Yeah.
the the gas needs to be dealt with. Also, the thing called tank has an opening roughly 4 inches in diameter. You can still do it, but I want to know how it happens.
A lot of muscle and cutting them up into tiny little bite-sized pieces, of which I may sample a couple.
Do you know the phrase waffle stomp?
Crikey and I leave this room with gas falling out after us, and
Mhm.
we're both gonna make a lot of. I'm gonna try to get the attention of Smoker and Joker and say, "You guys gotta get in on this hot box, man."
That's some good shit right there, man.
Well, roll me
To make
a 2 purple deception check.
Wookie cough. That is totally gonna be my fucking next strain. I swear to God. Writing that down.
All right, they boozy over to the door. As they turn the corner, they're like, "Holy shit!" And yeah.
Push 'em in.
So
Can I rip their masks off and push them in?
I'm gonna give them a turn because they haven't actually gotten one.
Okay,
I'm gonna let them take a reaction.
that makes sense. God damn Wookie cough. It's gonna be big.
Using the sniper rifles. This is a 1 red, 3 purple check. So if they do shoot one of you, I don't want to hear any shit.
Yeah.
I have two defense if they're shooting at me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna make it you and add 2 defense because that worsens the odds.
Because they're watching you stomp their people.
Yeah,
Just grabbing one of their buddies.
that was a lot closer than it should have been.
Yep.
But they did fail with enough threat that I can say that their weapons don't actually discharge correctly. Like, they meant to shoot you. They pulled them up to the shoulders and they pulled the trigger, but they've been shotgunning out of their blasters.
Yep. Yep.
That is not how you
There's
shoot
no
your weapon.
clip in there. It's just a death stick in there.
So, what happens next? Because all the players can now go.
Oh, it's machete time. I'm gonna hack at Joker. No, Smoker.
Okay,
I'm gonna push him into the room and just start smacking his face with the vibro machete.
go ahead and do your roll. It's 2 purples. You can take a boost because you're coming in from behind. They came from behind.
Oh, that's not a brawl. That's a melee check.
That's correct.
And I can have a boost, and that's 2 purples. Come on, vibro machete. pig. You go.
You need 10.
I only got 7.
You slice another one through its stomach. The machete's coming out the front. He just hasn't had the decency to die.
Oh, can I instead like smack him in the face and split his mask so he's breathing it in?
Did you roll 2 advantage?
Nah, I only got 1 advantage.
Mm.
That's okay.
Yeah, you can do it narratively because they're not going to live the next round anyway.
Right?
Hey, don't worry, Crikey. I'm gonna kill him first.
We all knew. That's one of the reasons I made that decision.
Kill stealing motherfucker.
I've had my kills stolen a lot in the last while. This is the first night that I've managed to get the kills, so I'm taking them, all of them. I'm gonna turn around with my spear with 4 bodies, parts of 4 bodies still on it.
3.
3. It's about to be 4 though.
Yes. Things getting heavy.
I didn't want to kill these guys, but now I'm in.
Why didn't you want to kill them?
I guess it's illegal. But once you've committed, I mean, you just gotta kill them all.
That was Crikey's idea. They can't tell us stories if they're dead.
You can't tell stories if they're dead. And we're committed now. That's why I was trying to cram those bodies into the tank, but so anyway, Argon, did you want to shoot, or do you want me to stay out?
No, I'm
Either.
just gonna go ahead and shoot. I'm gonna try not to end up hitting you guys. I mean, you have a sword inside the guy's gut.
You want to concentrate on the one who's already like on the brink of death, or the one who's at full health?
You want to steal the kill, man?
We'll go and steal the kill then. That's fine.
Okay, so it's going to be 1 black and 1 red, or sorry, 1 black and 1 purple. Versus your light range check.
One black, 1 purple.
Yep.
And not really doing any boost, so okay.
But wow. Did you take the time to aim?
Yeah, I didn't. I did not. So I didn't take the boost. So.
Okay. Alright, well, giving you 2 boosts didn't get enough to actually get it done. So I guess you fire off a shot. The good news is you don't hit Crikey.
There we go.
Kizik, do you want to go?
Yeah, I'm outside the room looking at the guy, so I ran as far away towards the edge. It's my patented run and snipe move. And I spun back around.
I hate to tell you, but everywhere on this roof is short distance.
It feels good.
It was a solid attempt.
1 red, 2 purples? Or 4 purples?
You're using your sniper rifle?
Yeah.
Short range. It's 4 purples.
Which one are you shooting? The uninjured or injured?
None of them.
He also rolled a threat, and I forgot to give him a setback. 0-1. Yeah, we're gonna say that he just misses. I'm getting feedback again. Oh, you know what? I think that's Kizik. I think when he's pushing the button, you can hear me.
That's wild. I have headphones on.
I think that's what's happening. Hello? Yep, that's definitely it.
All right. So Somehow I thought we were gonna deal with this without these guys getting another turn, but we're not. I'm gonna go ahead and stab um the
Get
one that hasn't attacked
kill steal.
yet.
Oh, the
No, I'm not gonna kill Steel.
oh wow. Okay.
So 2 purple.
Yes, for melee attacks. Pull out that nifty little gun. It's only
That is 4 plus 5 is 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 pierce 3.
That's how you do that.
okay. 12 pierce 3 is more than enough. You go through this guy. With your 2 threats, your vibro function cuts off. You need a maneuver to cut it back on. It's not broken in any way, shape, or form. But you will lose your pierce, whatever it is, until you take a maneuver to cut it back on. Who's next? There's a half stab stormtrooper. I think.
Yeah, I guess I'll kill Smoker.
Yeah.
We'll do this real quick.
You just lift up on your.
I mean, he failed.
Split him in half.
I rolled him a resilience check and he failed, so technically he's dead anyway.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's just fortunate because you didn't actually manage to kill him.
Yeah, no, I'd like to use my turn to spin around and just plant this right in his head.
Wait, he choked to death on the gas because Crikey called that he split his helmet over.
He's still choking. That's what you're saying. There's some sound coming from his helmet.
I'm gonna give Crikey the kill because he's had a hard day.
I'm gonna bluff my way out of that.
So you guys are on the roof. There are a bunch of bodies in the maintenance area now. Night has fallen. You look across the way and you can see a couple guys smoking cigarettes on the other side. One of them is in an Imperial TIE fighter uniform with his helmet pulled off, and the other is an Imperial stormtrooper with some sort of heavy blaster rifle, also with his helmet pulled off. And they're just chilling there, smoking and joking, and they have not noticed a single fucking thing.
Awesome.
Is that medium range?
They're closer to long range. It's medium range to the other building. It's long range to them.
Hook, can you hit that pilot
Yeah, no problem.
headshot?
Yeah, no problem. I lay down on the edge of the building. I get into my shot. I feel good, and then I look up and I go like, right now.
Well, I'm gonna shoot the harpoon over there, but I want to make sure that you're set up and have a shot before things get all sideways.
But there's 2 of them.
You want to take the other guy on? Can you hit him from here?
No, it's too far.
Then come with me as we cross the bridge or the rope, and we'll go silent and sneaky and try to get over there. We can time this out with the radio.
All right. Yeah. You know what? That makes sense. So Hookers, you're gonna be ready to take the shot.
Roger, Roger.
If they notice us, then you take the shot regardless. As long as they don't notice us, don't shoot anybody.
Argon, do you want to start a fire in that mechanical room or something?
Wouldn't that draw attention over here?
Hey, don't do that yet.
I was about to say, you also released all the fire suppressant.
This building's just gonna burn down. Which, by the way, was my plan when we left, to just toss an incendiary at it and call it a day.
Right.
I may do both buildings. I want no evidence of this.
That was a pretty good line. Okay, that sticks.
Got to do your.
No, I just drew the line.
Yeah, no, we did the line, man.
Yeah, dude,
Really?
the line's
You-
there.
you-
You see the line.
You definitely sound like you're doing some lines.
It's canon.
So it's a 2 purple gunnery check.
All right. I'm gonna take 1 boost for taking my whole turn to aim. And I don't don't think I get any other boosts. So
If I help him, can he get a boost?
It's too
Yeah.
late. I rolled it. Did it?
And with advantage, which is really important because it does silently plunk into the other side and cinch tight the very first time.
Awesome. I'm a pro. All right.
We're not just hunters, we're burglars.
I'm gonna go ahead and tie off this side and make sure it's secure, and I'm gonna head across.
Okay? It's a maneuver to cross the line.
All right.
It's-
I want to make a stealth roll. Can I do that?
Absolutely. In fact, I assist upon it.
Are you coming with me?
It's 3 purples, by the way. You can have a boost because it's nighttime.
Oh, well. I probably should have taken it. No, I'm good. Might get rid of my threats, though.
Here. Let me just click this button. You got rid of one of your threats.
Okay.
Who's next?
The other side.
Right. 2 purples or 3? You said 3 purples.
It's 3 purples. But you get an extra boost because it's nighttime.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Awesome.
I am the knight.
You absolutely are. You guys are good at stealth. Alright, Argon. You want to try to cross?
Absolutely. So 3 purples, and you're giving us a boost, you said?
Yep, you get a boost because it's nighttime and they have their helmets off, so their ability to see in the dark is tied to their super nice helmets. Stealth check. Okay. So Argon falls to his death. So Argon zips across, and at the very last section, he lets go a bit prematurely and tumbles on the wrong side of the thing. And he does come to a landing. This guy turns and is like, "Hey, what the hell?" And I was about to say, Hooks, it's your turn, and you see all of that.
Hit him.
Long range is 2 purples.
Yes, for that one. Is that a triumph?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
You get both. You get both with one trigger pull.
They both are like, "Hey man, is that guy falling out of the scum?"
Who are you? Where did you fall?
You hear in your comms, target eliminated.
Targets. Is anybody in the guard shack?
So there's a couple of little windows. The guard shack is made out of scrap material. You have to pry the. You have 2 options. You can like look in through the window, or you can pry back some of the material and look in.
Oh, I will peek in through the window.
Okay. There is a single stormtrooper in there. He is blatantly asleep. He's not even in his armor. He's in the black underlay suit that goes underneath, and his armor's stacked next to the bed.
Is his bunk like right next to the wall?
Yeah, it can be if you want it to be.
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk up about where I saw him,
Hmm.
right? And turn the vibro spear on and just, put it through there where his head is.
Okay, I'm not going to make you roll for that. You kill this guy in his sleep.
I look at Crikey.
I thought you were going to have him wake up and have it all been his fault. Like, have him as a patsy.
What happened here?
I look at Crikey and I'm like, I think that's 4 for me. Technically,
You didn't get him on your stick.
I mean, he's on my stick. I pull the stick out. It's just covered in blood and gore.
All right, good job, mate.
I thought you didn't want to come, man.
100% stealth. You guys didn't trip a single alarm. Actually, that's not true. You triggered lots of fire alarms.
I still got the
Did it a lot.
thing. I'm gonna hit the button again.
I mean, and somebody did just trigger the guards. Just we had a contingency in place. So I guess this is where we steal the stuff.
So there's two vehicles on the landing pad here. There is a police version of a Mauler tactical responder. It's rigged for riot control. And then there's a modified TIE LN starfighter where one of the cannons has been replaced with a spotlight, and there's a grapple on the bottom. You guys can start opening up the crates from the little storage area if you want. Blatantly, this TIE fighter's been pulling these crates onto this ceiling.
Crates of goodies.
They are crates of goodies. Now, before you guys go too crazy, I want to say try to keep the stuff that's in the different crates separated, because the TIE fighter can carry a crate, and the tactical responder can carry a crate. Some of these things will fit on your person, though.
Ooh, it's a sweet cutlass.
I'm imagining you guys are just rifling through the...
I hand that card to Hugris.
I haven't ziplined down. Are we all leaving from the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna fly both of these things out of here.
We all fit in both of those things?
Yeah. You all fit in the Mauler tactical responder by itself, but you need the TIE fighter.
I'm going to do a little arson over here.
I've already had that covered, but if you want to start it without me, that's fine.
I mean, you can't come up a zip line.
I don't need to. I have incendiary arrows.
Oh my goodness, that's so much better.
I came prepared for this shit, man.
Can
I
I
didn't
take-
want to come, but I wasn't coming unprepared.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's zip lining. That was
I
the
found
best
Booster
idea.
Blue.
What'd you say about blue noodles? Hey, can you guys open these? Oh, no, that's not my voice. Oh man, I can't get into these cases. These ones are locked.
Dueling pistols? Did somebody not have a breathing mask? Or did you guys just forget to put them on?
No, my plan was to get him to come in after you guys dealt with them, and I needed to be coughing when I left that room.
That was not a yes or a no.
I have a breathing mask though, yeah.
Alright. Alright, well, I hand you these two cards. I don't know if there's any of these things we want.
I mean, there's a locked rifle case. If we pick that one up with the chapters, we can bring it back to somebody who can crack it.
I was wondering who it was going to be, and now I know.
I didn't open it. I just saw that it's a locked rifle case.
That wasn't what I was talking about.
What? What did we do wrong?
Nothing. I was wondering who it was going to be, and now I know. That's going to be 2 people now.
Look at this.
Oh, is that not the right one? Ah. there's only supposed
Little bag
there's
over here.
there's only supposed to be 1 card in that bag. That's
What-
that is
okay.
that there's only supposed to be 1 card in that bag. And
No,
when
okay.
Ghost
The other things are just not supposed to be there.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a no for me. Fuck that thing.
Really?
Do I look? I don't even have a skill in. I do have a skill in planetary piloting, but no, I'm not a flyer. You remember the last time I flew something? It was into the ground. Guessing the locked rifle case is going to be the most valuable item, but I'm not sure. There are crates that have platinum and stuff in them.
So in order for you guys to take that jetpack and have it not count as a crate, one of you would have to wear it.
Who else is a pilot?
I have 5 greens.
Oh, so you're not even a
4
pilot.
greens.
You're just dexterous.
Yeah. I have 4 greens.
I thought you guys were going to be tripping over yourselves for that thing.
No, I saw that thing in the vendor. It's not that expensive. I was like, no, that's how you die. That is.
I would love to have a flying Wookiee, but this character's not built to use one
No,
at all.
The only person here, I thought Argon was a pilot.
He's a smuggler, but he's a gunslinger.
Yeah, 3 greens.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. If you guys are ready, I'm gonna set the building on fire.
The building is out of range of your incendiary arrows, I think. Unless you have long range. But I thought they were...
Medium. I thought I could hit it from.
Hookers reaches into his back pocket and he pulls out a bright orange clip for his sniper rifle. And he says, "This is gonna be loud, guys." And
Maybe you should do it when we're flying away.
yeah, we get ready to go first.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to fly the tie.
All right. I'm gonna put all the bodies in the guard shack.
Okay.
Inappropriately posed.
Is the TIE fighter carrying one of the crates?
Do we want to? I mean, this we can sell. We can
Sure.
sell a bunch of this stuff, right?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
So, yeah, I'm gonna carry a crate, and I'll try to shove as much as we can into it.
So I pretty much had them situated so they were more or less full in quotation marks.
Right. So this
Each of
bag.
these is a crate. Each bag is a crate.
Yeah.
So, I was trying to see like.
As long as you guys have the open encumbrance, you are welcome to carry anything you have encumbrance to carry.
I took the stim pack. That was all I took.
Can we take the cargo crate with the alloy in it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what we're gonna grab.
Yeah, should be movable now.
Hooker's found some Curlian whiskey. He's very happy.
I don't know what's in the locked case.
You'd have to either take it on faith, or you'd have to do a 2 red, 2 purple computers check to slice it.
Yeah, I know what's in the cargo crate. Alloys can still be good.
There's still room for another crate on the other ship.
Yeah. Who's gonna fly the other ship?
3 greens is both me and Argon, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I think it's got room for a pilot and a co-pilot. Sure does.
Yes, technically, if I took the jetpack, that's one more thing we can take and sell, and my odds are just as good in that as letting someone else pilot me around. Yeah, I'll take the jetpack.
It's so good.
It's gonna be a terrible idea.
You got this.
So the tactical responder is going to get the box that says rifles on the outside.
Loose. Alright, so is everyone flying straight to the rendezvous point?
Before we start the things up, I'm going to shoot a couple of detonator rounds into the other building.
I can actually just drop the arrows as I go.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, what an amazing thought.
that's absolutely true. He's got a jetpack now.
Much quieter.
I don't know, jetpack's pretty loud.
As opposed to an explosive detonator round?
As opposed to, I was about to say a TIE fighter and a Mauler taking off. So, I need planetary piloting for everyone flying.
Oh, no, you don't.
I do. It's a 2 purple check.
Well, I'm flipping a Destiny token on mine.
I can't. I already flipped one.
Argon, you want to roll me a co-pilot it?
Wait, you're doing it?
I mean, it's all 3 greens either way.
Oh, okay.
Hookers loves to fly. I mean, he's excited. Never flown a plane.
I'm flying.
He gave you 1 extra. Oh, that's him. I thought
I
that was
succeeded.
Argon.
I got a 1-1.
All right, TIE fighter and the jetpack make it out. Alright.
Drop an arrow, an incendiary arrow on the guard shack, and one on the maintenance room.
So, Argon, to fly a piloting check. I'm getting a strong echo from Kizik. Can you not hold your... There you go, thank you. You need to do a 2 purple planetary piloting check, and then pass on any successes you have to Kizik.
Because I was doing the co-pilot part, right?
Yes. All right, well, no negative consequences, but you don't pass on any successes.
And no, nothing.
Hey!
The Mauler very shakily lifts into the air and goes along path. And we said we're all going to the drop-off point, right?
Yes.
All right, this time we're going to do different. Got you over here. Got you 2 over here. Why are you here, Carl? Carl, you're dead. You're dead,
He's
Carl.
still in my spear. He's my loot.
Lock. You all live here now. All right. As you guys fly away from the impound lot, you safely make your way to the drop-off zone at the destination. You are not intercepted by any enemies or fighters, although there are definitely some strange comm calls. It's an unscheduled flight. So when you guys get to this area out in the bush just outside the city, there's like road flares that are making the landing zone, and a very surprised Bothan. And Dr. Bacon's like, "Oh my god, you actually did it."
Yeah, we're pretty good. We tried to tell you. Hope you enjoy your TIE fighter. You said it would take about 24 hours to fix up our friend there.
Yep, I should have it done by this time tomorrow, no problem.
Hey, did you need a Muller ship we got some stuff.
Got a jetpack for sale?
Honestly, no. And that's just even more hot equipment that I can't really deal with at the moment because now I've got a TIE fighter to worry about.
Yeah, how you gonna like re-register that thing?
You probably don't want to know the answer to those questions.
Well, we've got the smaller we wanted to do.
Oh, well, I'm not planning on keeping it. It only needs to work long enough to get to the Star Destroyer in orbit. So I'm kind of on a clock.
Right. Okay. You have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
We've got this cargo crate. We'll grab it with the Mauler.
So you totally can try to do that with the Mauler if you want, but he will offer you the services of his speeder. A bunch of people have shown up. They are toting crates of something over to the TIE fighter, and they've started like packing stuff inside the cockpit.
Huh.
They're going on a camping trip, mate. They're loading up stuff to go on a camping trip. Clearly,
Right. I think it might be a one-way camping trip.
like a picnic.
Well, I hope they get a good time out of that TIE fighter.
It looks like they're gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we should crash the Mauler into the middle of the wilderness. Or we can call up the Jawas and see if they just want to tear it down.
Do that. They might like that. Get some
Why don't-
goodwill.
Why don't we use it to help us in our next, part of the heist? Because we're going to be dealing with the prisons and everything. It'd be nice to have like a legit police car,
Yeah, but it's
It
also
might be useful.
a
We could
police.
stash it. We could probably stash it in the swamp. Just seal it up and sink it and get it when we're ready.
I know a cave system that we might be able to use.
It's not the one that had the Rancor in it, is it?
Now, as the Mudhorn.
Oh yeah, that would work. That would work.
Yeah, let's fly there fast. I'm just concerned it's got some kind of transponder and it's going to lead Imperials right to us.
Let's see if you can find one and kill it.
Yeah, you start flying it. I'll give it a searchies.
1 red, 2 purple checks, mechanics checks for anyone who wants to look for a transponder.
I found it, but it's beeping really fast. Maybe. No, is that a transponder?
Okay, does anyone else want to make any rolls to look for the transponder?
I'm flying, mate.
I'll go ahead and do it.
I'm in a jetpack.
You're not in the vehicle?
No, once I started flying, I didn't want to put it down.
Okay.
Or land. Or land. Landing's really the dangerous part.
Mm-hmm. Argon, make your roll to look for the transponder.
It was against 2 purples, you said?
I think that's what it was.
And the red and the purple.
Red and purple.
Red and purple. Gotcha. And what trait am I using again? Sorry.
Mechanics.
Mechanics. Gotcha. Okay. Couldn't remember.
Okay. So here's how all of this goes down. Kizik's character, Hooks, says, "Oh man, this thing's beeping really fast. Is this a transponder?" And about that moment, Argon stands up because that can't be the transponder. I found the transponder, and he's got a ripped out piece of equipment in his hand. And now you have a beeping thing in the back of the plane as it's being flown at high altitude towards your location.
I don't know what it is. Take us down. Or it's going to take us down.
I'll dive.
Okay. Give me a 1 red planetary piloting. Did you guys say that over the radio? Does Gar know what's about to happen?
I'm following them, so I imagine I don't know if they don't say it over the radio.
Oh, you're gonna know the maneuver suddenly.
So 1 red, 1 purple.
Just 1 red. Okay. So the Mauler tactical responder is built with a few safety features in mind. One of which does not allow you to plow it into the ground. So as you push down on the thing and it thinks that you're going to take it into the ground, it actually pushes back. So instead of going down on the ground, the Mauler just kind of like bounces up and down for a moment as you're like trying to push it down into the ground. It's like, no, you don't want to crash. Gar, from your perspective, this thing has just started like a roller coaster, like up and down.
We found a baby thing.
I'm gonna slow down and maybe just watch. I guess nothing. I'm not gonna be able to help them.
Can I like cut this out with a welding torch?
Oh my god.
You-
Can I investigate it a little bit further before I do that?
Yes,
I'm gonna try to find a place to land.
that's a good idea.
I'm gonna radio them and be like, "Hey, what the fuck are you guys doing?"
I'm landing. There's something wrong.
Something's
with this
weird. I'm not a.
Do you have any tools? Do you have any scanning equipment?
I have a tool belt.
Okay.
Hey,
You find a landing zone.
I have a tool belt and a data pad. That's not scanning equipment.
It's close enough. Go ahead and
I have a shatty.
we're gonna call it a 1. Yeah, 1 red. Just 1 red. You're trying to figure out what it is. You haven't gotten to the hard part. It is comprised of a combination of droid parts and avionics interfaces. Also, the beeping has become a solid tone.
Is it basic? I mean, not basic, but droid.
No, it's not speaking a language.
Gotcha. It could have been.
It could have been. Yeah. It is droid parts, 100%. It's a droid brain and avionics equipment.
Do you have anything on the sensors? Like, is it calling in a drone strike to us? Can I cut the power to it?
You can attempt to. This is where it gets nice and dicey. It's a 2 red mechanics check. It is integrated into the main power system of the ship.
Have we landed?
No.
Oh, we just found a landing zone.
Yeah, this is all happening way too fast. I mean, if you want to wait for him to land, you can attempt to do that. But since it's making a solid tone now and he just spotted a landing zone.
Mm-hmm. Can this thing glide, I say, as I am trying to line up which wires to cut the power to the thing?
You think they low jacked us?
That's what the transponder was. So yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to cut the power to it.
I'm trying to land.
Mm-hmm.
Found a really good parking spot though. I mean, 4 successes.
I can't cut the power to it. I can cut the power to everything else.
Well,
So-
I hope that I've landed before you do that.
Yeah.
You have not, but you've gotten like hovering right above the bottom. So you kind of have choices as what starts happening is the way that it was fighting you earlier. Is like you're still on push to talk. gets more and more and more intense until the point where you realize that the ship's trying to turn around by itself. LoJacks don't generally drive your car back home.
That's an autopilot.
I'm gonna wrench the wheel. And
Okay.
I'm gonna say, I'm in control and I'm trying to land, you dumb fuck.
Okay.
Sounds like an athletics check.
It can be whatever kind of check you want it to be, because really it wouldn't make you roll for it. Narratively, it doesn't matter whether you pass or fail. Because what ends up happening is he's a Wookiee and he rips the steering column out of the control panel. It's
I'll show him.
yeah. The autopilot's now in full control and the ship is turning around. You guys are right above this low landing area out in the middle of the wilderness, though. There's basically a back area that Argon, Hooks are in with the two crates, and they've got side open panels like Huey doors, and then there's a cockpit in the front that Crikey is in, and this thing is about to basically lift back off. Everyone take an action.
We're within jumping distance.
Yes, you're like 6 feet off the ground. Stationary and hovering, but the ship is turning back towards the city.
Time to jump.
Those crates are really big. I can't push one.
You can push one.
I'm gonna push the gun crate and jump on top of it.
Okay, so you push the gun crate out and you jump out. Crikey?
I guess I'm not keeping this thing, so I'll jump out.
I mean, you could attempt to level your bowcaster at that thing and pull the trigger.
But cutting power to it wouldn't do it. I thought that's what Hook was doing.
He was trying to do that. He failed.
It's tough. I don't know where they writing power in ships.
My assumption was that you were trying to cut power without causing the ship to fall out of the sky, which is why it was so.
Split the difference.
If you just wanted to cut power, like I said, it was tied to main power. If you just wanted to take a hacksaw and cut the whole power line, you could have done that. It might have made you a little toasty.
My piloting check, though, couldn't have cut the power off.
The switches, there's no piloting check to be made. So basically what this did was this cut off the controls in the cockpit. That's why I didn't give you a roll for it.
Gotcha.
There is no control in the cockpit anymore. It doesn't matter how good your piloting skill is. With that said, if you want to take a chance at saving this thing, you could try to do something at this point. This is like your last action, your last moment before you either ride this thing back to an Imperial prison or jump out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna smash the droid-looking parts in there.
Okay? So smash as in hit or smash as in shoot?
Yeah, I'm gonna bowcast it.
Okay. Go ahead and, I'm not going to make you roll for hitting it. We're just going to assume that you do hit it. High or low?
Hi.
96.
It's pretty high.
So, you hit this thing dead on. It blows basically out through the back of the ship, but it also takes this... most of these control surfaces with it. It causes the power to die on the ship, and it falls the remaining 6 feet to the ground, which is something that's within its threshold. It's now damaged, but it stopped trying to fly away all on its own accord.
All right. Sorry for the rough landing day, mates.
Oh, they already jumped out. You probably landed on them.
Oh yeah, I landed on top of them then.
They left you.
If you want to spend a destiny token, we can crush one.
I'll spend 2. Can I get 2?
Hooker's had his sniper rifle out, was waiting for it to pull away so he could shoot it. But then it falls on him. Roll out of the way.
It sounds like we'll be starting the next section in the middle of the woods, somewhere where you don't know with a craft ship. That'll be fun.
2 massive containers.
Yep.
In a jetpack.
It's like a boat situation. You're just gonna push it.
The jetpack is going to be the funniest part because we're going to start the next section and be like, Gar, why won't you land? And you're going to be like, I'm afraid.
I want to land.
You can
I
just
got up
run
here.
out to the city and come
I'm actually
back.
afraid. I'm actually afraid of heights.
It's a valid point. You have basically a vehicle. You could fly back to the city and get the truck.
Yeah, get the skiff and come back and just pick us all up.
Little's just gonna follow you guys. I don't even know where we're at. Like everything looks different up here. Can't you guys just fix it and I keep following you?
We don't have any tools. We gave away all of our cybernetic parts.
I mean, I have tools. I don't have parts for the back
Materials.
end of a ship.
So,
Give this thing to like a warehouse or something anyway.
Why don't we just call the Jawas? Isn't this their job?
To come
They
pick us up.
Come scrap
I
this.
mean, they need to scrap it, and then obviously they could just give us a ride afterwards.
Do we want to scrap it or we want to use it for the heist?
So at this point, it's scrap. Someone shot a hole through the back of it.
It's fixable.
it's a tiny hole.
It's fine.
As he puts his head out of it, it's
Yeah.
not that big.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just a bowcaster bolt.
Head's a bit of exaggeration, but his hand will definitely fit.
There's not much in this path anyway. It's mainly for what, autopilot. We're not putting one of those back in it.
I was thinking of making it a bomb, but I was like, that's too cliche and too predictable. What would really fuck with them?
It's
Yep. So, what'd you guys think? Everyone happy with the session?
Yeah, it went much better than I expected.
Yeah, it went well.
getting somewhere.
I mean, we definitely had our hurdles, but I think it went very well. I'm very impressed at some of the solutions you guys came up with.
We're gonna end up having like 15 heist preps for this to make it easier. Then we'll just waltz in there.
I mean, doing more heist preps will make it easier to just walk in there and get things. But there will be a limit on what you can do. I only have 3 things in mind. Of course, I have 2 weeks to come up with more, so...
Yeah.
But I'm gonna also try to squeeze, like, I thought you'd get through 2 of them today, and we only got through 1, so I'll try to speed up the pace a little bit. But we were having some really good interactions. You guys getting up on the roof and then zip lining over and, playing with the fire systems and everything. That was all gold. So
It was a good time.
yep, we'll call the stream there.